Yo, what's up? Detroit is definitely in the building via your headphone stereo and speakers. Of course, this is your man's the African Caesar, and this is the Sneaker Box Sunday evening show right here on Woodward Sports Network. Of course, I'm joined by the rest of the crew. We got the contrarian of the show, Gino.
What's up, people?
And then we have the deacon of the show, Guru.
What's going on, people?
Anybody talk to Dunks?
I think he's doing field work.
He's
Field work.
He's living his best
on
life.
the front lines.
Okay.
He's an essential sneaker worker.
I will.
An essential sneaker worker.
I will not inquire beyond that. All right, okay.
You ain't checked in with him?
No.
Oh, okay. All right.
I mean, y'all got y'all little slam dunk thing going on, so I figured you would be the.
I mean, I'm slamming and dunking by myself.
Okay. All right. All righty then.
Boy.
All right. Hey.
So on to the next.
No.
Let's elaborate.
So when he was here, who was doing the slamming and who was doing the dunking?
Not getting into that.
I'm just asking the question. I'm asking for our listeners. I'm pretty sure they
don't want to know.
Inquiring minds want to know. Man, okay. Well, beyond that.
Let's just get the show going.
No, we were.
You did the intro.
That's in my
Come
show
on.
notes.
No. Fuck out of here. Let's get the show going. Come on.
Oh, man. All right.
Let's
well,
roll.
Social media. Let's get to that.
Yeah, social media, TSB_ blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, Twitter, TSB_show. Instagram, follow us at the Sneakerbox_show. And then you can find us on Facebook by looking up the Sneakerbox Radio Show page. And if you have any voicemails or if you have any questions that are sneaker related or any topics you want us to discuss, feel free to call us on our voicemail hotline at 248-677-1803. Or if it's something you want to respond to that we said on the show, feel free to leave us a message and we will get to it on a future show. I guess we can just get right into it since you really don't want to tell us.
Fab 5 sneaker releases of the week.
Okay, I just want to make sure. I wanted to give you the opportunity to explain / defend yourself. So,
I mean, what is there to defend if nothing happened?
No.
So,
is that music coming out in the background? Is it coming? Like, can you hear it? Okay. It's like throwing me off. I feel like I'm doing a show at Macy's or Nordstrom.
Macy's.
No, this would be more.
Watch when I go back to listen to the show. It's gonna be like all in the background.
What music is that?
Huh?
That's Lady Jane.
Yeah.
I
think
Can't turn it down. They turn it blasted with nobody here.
That's their deal.
Oh, okay.
No.
I just want to make sure it ain't okay in the background. Anyway, start off with our Fab 5 sneakers releases of the week.
Before we go, paying my cameraman to himself, our producer, our wonderful producer right here. Come on, man. Come on, turn the camera on, my G. Turn the camera on, my G. Turn the camera on, my G.
What happened? What?
Turn the camera on yourself. Come on, man. Give us a word of selfie. Come on. Come on, man. Oh, he got to get it. Come on. We got to see it. I promised my man. I'm a chess player with the jokes. He got his jokes about a month and a half ago on me. Today, he got his Johnny Bravo toupee on. You know what I'm saying? His wop wop dubak. Real Elvis joint going on, man.
I forgot about that. Was it the Kimbo slice?
Yeah.
Guru remembers.
Yeah. So you got your Drake beard along with your what's my man name? What's my man?
You said he had the Brendan Doom.
His Brendan Doom
cut like that. That is a Brendan Doom.
Oh my
God,
Brendan Doom cut.
Yeah.
So I promise you, man. I told you I was not going to forget you, man, my guy. So
Brendan Doom came in dressed as Adam to sabotage our show.
Exactly, you know what I'm saying?
That's why the music is playing in the background.
Exactly.
That's what that is.
You're not even gonna hear what Guru said because the music is drowning it out.
So
he gonna cut the music up louder.
Man, this sounds like elevator music at like Nordstrom's.
I don't know. This may be like the brothel lobby music.
Usually like in the brothel, like the lights are pretty low. Kind of like strobe lights going. Kind of get you in the mood a little bit.
That's your rave. Don't confuse your brothel with your summer rave parties, man.
No, I don't do rave parties.
He runs the brothel and then Duncan runs the
rave parties, man. They could have shot Bad Boys 1 scene.
Yeah, no, I can't do rave. I can't do rave parties.
But they're lucrative, so
Anymore?
you can do them. You could be like on the Bad Boys. Remember
Gotta have
to the
too
club?
much ecstasy.
Remember Bad Boys, the first one? They was up. You could be like in the owner's suite, looking down at the crowd, doing drugs and doing all that stuff.
You want to know how you got to get there? You got to go to Bad Boys 2 and go to my man's house.
Nah, but the first episode is like the rave party that you throw in the summer.
Nah.
They're like Rock Nation brunches.
No, they're not that elaborate. It's very, very low level in comparison to that. Yeah. No, we don't have expensive horse.
Wow.
Yeah, cheap ones.
Well, we do have is expensive shoes. Once again, our Fab 5 sneaker releases from the week. We'll start with number 5. We have the Clot Special Edition Nike Air Max 1 Kiss of Death Solar Red. There we go. Thanks, Brandon. No, you know what? I actually like these better than I like the other ones. Only because
it know how to see through.
Yeah, that
window.
bothered me. Because I'm like worried about the creasing and then how it's going to look over time because that clear doesn't stay clear forever. It's going to turn yellow, which I guess will look okay because most of those colorways were brown or brownish. So I guess it would look not too bad. Dang. Come on, Brandon. See, Brandon Dillon out there trying to sabotage the show. But no,
this
cool,
does
actually.
sound like some music that would play at a Complex office, too.
You know it is. It's probably the intro
No,
music too.
Complex offers play hip hop music because, of course, it was popular.
Oh, yeah, they got to sell to black people.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Even though none of them work there.
Yeah. No, they work behind the scenes. They usually cooking, taking orders.
Who are they, StockX?
Yeah, they pretty much run exactly like StockX. But no, get back to this shoe though. The shoe was clean. It was cool, smooth.
All right.
Like I said, I liked it better than the other ones only because of that toe box.
That's straight.
And these are probably harder to get. I think these only released at the store.
They released them in full family though.
Did they? Mm-hmm. Okay. Shout out to
The
them.
first ones were too. You can get them in preschool and infants.
These didn't show up on the website though. This didn't show up on Nike though. I think this is.
We showed up on the clock side.
It only works with your login. Could have got me this shoe. Not with my normal shoe.
Hilarious. Number 4, we got the Adidas Forum 84 ADV Diego Nehera.
That was cool.
Yeah, it's actually a smooth shoe. Can you go full screen with these? Because I just want people to actually be able to see some of the detail. Like, first of all, Adidas is killing with the forums. You know, so far so good. Like, my concern is them, you know, kind of butchering them the way Jordan brand is doing with the Jordan 1s. Now, you know, they come up with stories now to, like, he chews gum. Now we're going to come out with this shoe that commemorates him chewing gum.
Don't start with
I
that.
know.
That was the dumbest
Let's focus on
thing.
Adidas right now because I don't want to take this Adidas time away to talk about Jordan brand. But I do like what they've been doing with the forums. I mean, I just like the fact that they realized that they had forums at their disposal to actually release. Like, it seemed like they were just heavily focused on boost, Stan Smiths, superstars, sometimes, NMDs. It's like Adidas has more silhouettes in our arsenal other than the 4 or 5 that they were paying attention to. So I'm glad that they're pulling out the forums. They've been dope so far this year. This has been the year of the forums, to me, honestly.
No, for Adidas it has been.
Yeah. I mean, I think, honestly, this is the only gripe I have with the sneaker community. And it's funny because somebody on our show or somebody in our comments was like, or maybe, oh, you know what? It was a review. Somebody left the review talking about, these guys just love Jordans. I'm like, we talk about all shoes, but okay, well, way to listen to 5 minutes for the show and try to surmise.
Or check out the shoes that we wear on the show.
But, because my shoe of the year has been what? The Forum. Like, no, like, I mean,
Oh, the Eric Manuel.
yeah. Like, I've been pushing that shoe like all year. But anyway.
Those are dope.
Yeah, but no, I think people should show more love to the forums. Like, you know, we talk about Air Force Ones. This will be the Air Force One equivalent, I believe.
I think they're top 10s Air Force One. I think this is their Air Force 2. They're just this.
I would say
this has more legs far as selling than the Nike had with the Air Force 2.
I mean,
because this resembles the top 10, just like the Air Force 2 kind of.
Yeah, but I would say, in all honesty, Adidas probably has more of an arsenal for the urban community than what Nike does. Because Nike will easily have the Air Force One. Adidas can at least throw you a form. They can throw you a top 10. They can throw you a top 10 low.
But they got the
low.
Air Maxes. They got the Hirachis. They got
but it's like those.
The Cortezes.
But think who buys forms?
Only black people.
Yeah,
95% black.
Whereas with Nike, like you said, with those Air Maxes and things like that, like that's
And most
everywhere.
of the people are from the Midwest.
Yeah.
Or some East Coast that buys the form. So
True. I would just say that I just wish, you know, because
I do
these are not
think-
getting the hype that I feel like they should get.
Well, what is Adidas actually pushing them?
No, some of that is on Adidas, but some of it is on us too, though. I mean,
but
'cause-
Adidas also got to know that their core audience isn't the forum people. Sad but true.
Yeah.
So I mean,
But to me, I mean,
and they created that monster.
I know I can't speak for everybody, but
I mean, for businessly, it stood well. But I mean, it's just my thing is how I appreciate Adidas is that they. This is something we beg Nike to do. Adidas will feed their hype beast, but still slide something in there for the people who've been there all along.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
They will do that. So like Nike doesn't do that. Like, hey, can we have to beg for regular pennies and Nike basketball silhouettes, the stuff that got you on your feet in the '90s, outside of Jordans, but with Adidas, hey, we feature all the Yeezy stuff, all the hype collabs, but we'll still give you some forums. We'll still give you top 10s every year. We'll still give you top 10 lows. We'll give you a couple different colors. They will still fill that core audience, that core.
Well, I give them credit for that for this year. Yeah. They really haven't done it much until.
I mean, they released them every year.
Not enough.
No, because I was going to Guru's point. Like I was going to say, like I didn't think about it like that until he said it, but I do think they do a better job because Nike is full arrogance. Like it's just full on arrogance. You can't tell them shit. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever, they shit don't stink. Adidas, because they're not in the position that a Nike is in. They don't have that same level of arrogance to where you can't have a discussion with them without them saying, you know what? Yeah, we'll try that. You know what I'm saying? Like he said, like they'll appeal to the hype beast. They got Yeezys and all that other shit. But like releases like this to me is like catered to like people who just love good sneakers. And so I mean, because this is a skateboard shoe, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I would agree with Guru to that point. Like they do a better job of trying to appease everybody.
Yeah, but wouldn't we say that probably the only entity up under Nike that does a poor job of doing that is Jordan Brand?
No, Nike is Nike is just Nike. Right?
We've never got an all-white Penny One retro. He wore that shoe. We've never seen it.
And you know what they'll do? They'll give you something that's close, but like not enough to be the exact
your
retro.
royalty 12s that's coming out.
Yes.
You could have given us taxes
Exactly.
on white and gray 12s. You could have.
Well, that's why
us
I said Jordan Brand is horrible at
But
it.
Nike
does the same shit.
Nike does it too. We could have got some. We could have been got some of the gloves. We could have been got Zoom Flight 5s. We could have been got
Jason Kidd retros.
You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
they keep pumping out up tempos for C's.
But we could have been
got.
We could have been got some of that stuff. We could have been got Pippin 2s. Like it's you could have been
gave us that shit. They gave us what was it? The first was the first.
They gave us Pippin 1s, and they gave us that was the only one.
And then they give it to you without the tech.
The
them penny 3s that drop, they had the tech in there.
Well, the penny they did have Zoom. My pair had Zoom in it. I felt in the fourth.
Which ones?
The black ones.
Okay.
I felt that in there because I wore them to work the other day. I'm like, okay.
And even the eggplant joints wasn't the eggplant.
It was the Ivan Ooze. It wasn't a true eggplant.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or you could have given us, to be honest, I think it was the Pippin 3s. And it was this Jason Kidd third shoe. Yeah. Remember they had that series where it was a shoe inside the shoe? So you had the Gary Payton one that was like that, and then they had the Scottie Pippen one he wore in Portland.
You got to remind me about those.
You got to take them out. And it was a Jason Kidd one where it was a whole sleeve, and then you could took the shoe out.
Yeah. Out
the skin. It was called the skin, the morph joint. But they could have been gave us stuff like that, bro.
Well, no, Michael Jordan chews gum.
so
real quick, I know this because there's not one Jordan on this list. But you know what? Let's get to the list. 'Cause I want to dedicate some time to how dumb that is. Let's get to number 3. Number 3, we got the Nike LeBron 8 Retro Space Jam.
These was dope.
These honestly should have been this Space Jam shoe. Now I get the fact that they got to push the 19, so they're gonna tie it in, so I get that.
I mean, they didn't have to push the 19. They could have did it without it. But
well, they're gonna drop the 19s, and with Space Jam,
it just makes sense.
I mean, it makes sense to push the 19 because this shoe has been out over 10 years. You've already sold retros of it, so this shoe already has traction with the community, and we've already did our marketing for that back in 2011.
Right. So with the 19, you gotta like exactly what he's saying. You gotta give it some type of lift.
I mean, it lines up perfect storm almost.
And I will say this. Space Jam's 11s, obviously the dope shoe.
Yeah.
But y'all know my rules for a collaboration, right? Like the storytelling and the execution, right? So I will admit, while the Air Jordan 11 overall is a better looking shoe, if we're talking straight up collaboration, I think the LeBron 8 is a better. Because it has more of the Space Jam, because you got the Bugs Bunny on there.
I mean, but then the devil's advocate point to that would be, is that, I mean, look at where the brand was at back in 95, 96.
No, I'm saying there was a different mindset back then. Like, they wasn't trying to, like, push a bunch of products centered around Space Jam.
But if you look at it, the Space Jam 11 didn't embody nothing from the jersey.
Didn't who?
It didn't embody nothing from the
No, it
jersey.
didn't.
So it wasn't even like, not even so much detail with the theme, but it was just like, it didn't embody nothing. We like it because it aged well. We love the 11s.
I mean,
but-
11s are dope regardless.
Yeah, so no, I would say the best Space Jam shoe out of both movies to me would be the 11s, but this one has more of a theme to it. And now with the collection,
exactly,
you can pick which route of movie you want to celebrate, whether it be the Bugs Bunny or the Wile E. Coyote or just the algorithm joint. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you got options.
So
yeah, but I mean, I guess brands, especially sneaker brands, are more keen on the marketing aspects. Like back then, it was kind of condensed because it was like athlete driven and it was like team driven, and now because even the Space Jam was really a PE. Like it wasn't. They didn't make that shoe for the movie.
But honestly, like looking at how brands operate now, I think that may more so be Warner Brothers saying, "Hey, look, this we can etch our stone into the sneaker community." Could be more so a push for them to be able to get into a market like that.
Nike gonna say if they don't feel like it, they ain't gonna do it.
Yeah,
yeah, but I mean,
then again, Warner Brothers had that right in the right aspect to come to that. But I feel like if anybody,
100%.
LeBron probably told them, "Look, I want to have a full-fledged collection." You know what I'm saying?
No, I definitely
see.
I could see that.
I think that would have been dope. But it would have been dope if we actually got some real Space Jam themed 9s and 11s during that movie, or even some low top LE. It would have been dope to really have. And Barkley was in the movie. You could have gave us a Space Jam. Like it could have been a little bit more embodied. It could have been Monstars Barclays back then. Remember a CB94?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But the mindset back then wasn't really to make PEs for the movies. You know what I'm saying?
I'm talking about as far as releasing, because you made toys, you made everything else except the shoes.
Well, Nike didn't make the toys. That's what I'm saying. Like,
oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, they could have.
I'm talking specifically for the brands. Their mindset was, like athlete team. That's why the shoes primarily came out in team colors. Jordans every now and then would come up with a UNC colorway. That was something he pushed.
How do you not drop a shoe during that year of that release? That probably would have jumped.
If that happened now, oh yeah. But
I'm talking about back then, that would have jump started. If you made the shoe that he wore and during the game, and then here it is a movie. You know what I'm saying? Because movies appeal to people who don't even watch sports. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
So you could have opened the door to that sooner with the 11. You know what I'm saying? You could have cracked it.
Well, see, that's why I said I felt like that was more of a Warner Brothers ploy to be able to collaborate.
I look at it like like basketball, right? Like the 3-point shot wasn't as prevalent as it was or as it is now. You know what I'm saying? Like now, everybody and their mama shoot. Like even the bigs are shooting 3. Back in the day, if you was over 6'10", like you get your ass on the block. You know what I'm saying? Let them guards shoot, and even the guards didn't shoot that often. So you had like a 3-point specialist in your team, but that was pretty much it.
But if you're gonna make if you're gonna make a Jordan,
so it's just a mindset thing.
But they made when he wasn't even playing basketball, you made a shoe.
Who?
Like Jordan, the 9s, the 10s, like you still made shoes. Somebody, if you're gonna make a shoe for a year when he didn't put the shoe on,
because the idea was always to continue the line without. I mean, even if he wasn't playing, it's like case in point, like it's still going on now. He played in like 03? That was like his last.
But
game?
he had people to carry it on. That was before the Team Jordan people came along. But I feel like they should have still made a shoe back then, or gave us that release then. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That kind of tied in.
Yeah, you gave it to it in 09. What? That was 2000? 4 years later?
Because Tinker, that was the reason why Tinker made the 9s and the 10s. Because and that's why those shoes were celebratory. You know what I'm saying? Because he figured, okay, he's not coming back, and he wanted to continue the line, whereas some people thought he wasn't, or wouldn't.
No, it made sense. It did because we actually got those shoes over there. I'm just saying, if you was going to continue to go that route with that, you should have released that shoe that year.
I agree, but these are hard. I like these.
LeBron 8s. It's not, as far as the retro, it's not one bad one. And they about to drop the same Vincent St. Mary.
I was going to say,
They haven't missed one.
I haven't missed, I got to agree with
retro.
you.
I mean,
I'm not that's a hard, though.
That's a hard silhouette to miss with, though.
But don't get Nike.
I was gonna say, bro.
I'm just saying it is.
They gonna say some shit like LeBron likes to shoot them too.
It is. It's a hard silhouette.
They gonna come out with the gum chewing LeBron.
Say that too loud.
It just is.
We see them do with Jordans, man. Don't say.
I was gonna say, bro. They can ruin Jordans. They can ruin LeBron.
Exactly.
They haven't ruined them yet.
Ruin what?
LeBron 8s.
He's saying don't give them ideas.
No ideas because they didn't did it with Jordans, cool grades and all that. Like
just saying, that's a very celebrated silhouette.
Because they took
Jordan.
They took the flu game. They took the flu game.
So Jordan was.
Well, that's different. What they did with that was totally different.
Exactly. So don't get them.
They took with what?
They took the flu game and gave him a sweater because he was cold.
Put
that suede around there.
When they brought it back, made it too tight. Like, come on, man.
Yeah,
they took the widest fitting Jordan and made it fit tight.
I think actually, what's funny about the flu game is I think I remember seeing a post where somebody was saying they should bring those back again.
No.
They already
Like
brought
that.
them.
No, like keep bringing them back again, like the ones with the suede.
Talking
Like,
about the
No,
old
no, no.
9 pair
Please
with
stop.
the
Now I
stuff.
will say this: can we get the 12s in OG form? Because like that mud guard on the side, it sat up higher, like this
The way
low
side,
trim.
it fit lower. I mean, it
They
fit
giving us
wider,
the Jordan 11.
and it was a higher
the
cut.
05
too.
Jordan 11.
Yeah, they giving us the Jordan 11 cuts on these 12s.
I mean,
And I get to that too, because I got beef with people about these high cuts and this look. Like a lot of people who didn't start getting shoes till like 2017 got complaints. Like your retro is not the OG. That's not the OG. If you bought a Cool Gray 11 in 09, that's not the OG. The OG, now while the 2001 wasn't exactly as high as the 96s, it was a lot higher than the ones in 09. And the reason that they were low was because Jordan Brand was being cheap. That's really what it came down to. They was trying to cut costs on materials, and so they lowered the cut.
I wouldn't have been mad if they released it. Actually, if they did the 2000, if they did these Cool Grays like they did the 2000s, the 2001s, I wouldn't have been mad because you giving me a shoe from its original release the same way I introduced to it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if you only say the high cut patent leather for like the playoff PEs, the Concords, and the playoff breads, like I would be okay with that because those shoes were in the Columbia
Right.
and the
No, I
All-Star
agree.
11s. But
We'll get to it later because I got it in another segment. I don't want to take too much time for our Fab Five. But where we at? Number 3. Number 2, we got the Nike LeBron 8 Retro South Beach. I didn't get a chance to get these.
I didn't get a chance to get them either, but I'm happy they're going for way less than they did back in 2011.
I got them.
Oh, did you?
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say because I want to. What was it? The Fairfax LeBron 7s, the MVP LeBron 7s, and these. Like, cause I know people that paid a pretty penny for these back in the day, so I know they gotta be sitting back pissed. Like, man, hold on. Nah, as a collector, and that's obviously
It was hard. It was way harder to get back.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was
for
way
sure.
harder back then. But I was gonna say there's key differences. Like, you know, they're not exactly the same color because Nike does that all the time where they change the shade up a little bit.
It's a very it's a highlighted tint.
Yeah.
Like they turned it up a little bit.
Yeah, a little.
On the
so,
pink on the laces, the green's pretty much on par. But yeah.
So I mean, so if you have the originals, there are some, you know, there's obviously some small or key differences. But still, I'll be feeling some type of way. Like,
And you
damn, I
gotta-
paid
and
10 G's for these, and they come out for 200. Now everybody got a pair. But I mean, but that's how it goes. I mean, shoot, we want the original Jordans. So I mean, if you're a LeBron fan, I don't understand why you wouldn't want the original colorways that you weren't able to get your hands on. I mean, especially if Nike recycles silhouettes and releases anyway. So I mean, that's what I mean.
I feel like we all kind of expected it to happen though.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Like-
it's not a surprise. I mean, honestly, LeBron probably has like the second strongest signature line behind Michael Jordan at Nike. So I mean, why would you not give him the retro treatment? Speaking of which, rewinding right back, I did finally see Space Jam 2. It was like a 2-hour commercial. It wasn't that great. However, my daughter loved it, so that's all that mattered. I just want to get it out the way because some people were like, for whatever reason, people, I don't understand I don't know what people hear when we say stuff, because people were acting like they were getting in their feelings that what we said about the movie, which I still stand by.
What did we say?
You know, it was just basically like the hate. We don't understand where the hate is coming
That's
from.
what I was gonna say. Like, what did we say that was?
They were like, "Oh, I paid $10 for this, and I'm angry." Bruh, it's a kid's movie. I don't know
It
what you
was
were
kid stuff.
expecting.
He was acting like a dad, like doing cheesy stuff like that. That stuff we do as
Can
dads.
LeBron
like,
act? No. Was the movie good? No.
Could Jordan act?
No.
Oh, it's not many sports
I'm not
athletes
even
that's
defending the
great as
movie.
athletes.
I'm saying my daughter enjoyed it. Therefore, if the movie is aimed towards her and she found it to be enjoyable, it does not matter what I think. No. Yes, I spent $10 because I took my daughter and myself to the movies. Now, if you went to the movies by yourself to go see this movie, let's be real. Half the people that's complaining, right? I got a feeling that you walked in not wanting to like this movie.
Oh, you walked in as a LeBron hater.
That's what I'm saying. And I'm not a
Had to.
LeBron fan. Let me say this right now. I'm not the biggest LeBron fan. However, I do try to be objective, right? And so I don't understand. I really do not understand the hate. If my daughter enjoyed it and it was aimed towards her, then fine. To me, that's a win for LeBron. Right, because they fulfilled their goal to make children happy. Children, every child that I've seen talk about this or I've heard talk about this, love the movie. If you are my age or older complaining about this movie, you really got to take a step back and ask yourself, why am I complaining this hard?
I'm pretty sure when my parents saw me watching all that, they hated it.
Yeah.
Well, that's actually what I was going to say.
They grew up watching Flip Wilson, and we watching like.
So the movies that you've taken your kids to. My daughter loves The Incredibles.
Yeah.
I like The Incredibles. But I'm not about to sit up here, critique, and hate on The Incredibles. Yeah. It's a kid's cartoon
Somebody brought
movie.
that up, too. It's like, well, Pixar does a good job. That's what makes Pixar, right? Pixar stands above the rest because...
And it was a full animation movie. This wasn't full animation.
Yeah, not to mention, this is why it takes like 10 years for Pixar to come out with movies, because they do put so much into their movies, whereas other people are just kind of...
Old school flip book.
Yeah, but once again, go back when you was a kid. Go back and watch movies you thought were the bomb as a kid, and go back and watch those movies. You're not gonna have the same feeling about them as an adult that you had as a kid.
Actually, sometimes it's actually like funny. Like I go back and watch the Power Rangers movies. I love that movie when I was growing up. When I go back and watch it, it's just like I laugh through it, even though the serious parts. Like he touches the ooze and then he turns into a zombie. He just gets to walking. You know what I'm saying?
That's my point.
Then Ivan Noodle gets mad at the birds. They got whack and zaps them. It's just like, what was the purpose of it?
Exactly. If grown Guru walked into that movie now, you have a different opinion about it because you're grown.
Yeah, it's
you know what I'm saying? As a kid,
but at the same time, grown Guru, if he was taking in little Guru, he wouldn't sit up there and hate on the movie.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying that you gotta like the movie. I don't know.
It's not meant for you to like.
I'm just saying I don't know what people are interpreting it as. We have to like this movie. No, you can not like the movie. I just don't think you should be on social media throwing a bitch fit about it.
And they need to stop comparing. Oh well, Michael Jordan's performance in Space Jam. Like, let's stop. Can we kill that? Can we kill that as well?
I'm so tired.
Like,
of shit.
Seriously, can LeBron just?
But I will say, like,
let LeBron do his thing.
It did feel like a 2-hour commercial. It was like, here's all these products, here's all these properties we own. It was like, okay, here's the shoes, okay, whatever. But like I said, my daughter was laughing. She enjoyed herself. She wants to see it again.
I think the best part of it had like a better storyline and actually gave.
I was gonna say I think the storyline was worse.
But I'm talking about far as it sent the parents a message like, hey, don't be too pushy on your kids. Let them do them. You know what I'm saying? Let them come into their own. But as far as that, but outside that, I mean, it was all right. Like I'll be watching my son like, you watch this on YouTube and he love it and I think it's trash, but if you like it, go ahead.
Exactly.
Don't get me started on the YouTube stuff.
Yeah. I know, I hate that too. So you gonna watch a kid play a video game and you got a whole Xbox right there. Why are you not playing it?
I don't get it.
Oh my God, I just walked into a room.
Or I bought the game that you're looking at this other person playing. Like, why are you not playing it yourself? Whatever. Anyway, number one, we have the FTC Special Edition Nike SB Dunk Low. I thought these were clean. I actually went for these too. This is probably like the one or two. This is probably the second pair of dunks I went for this year. And I actually thought these are. I do like when they go out, like when they realize there's other colors than red, blue.
But they make shoes off your favorite colors though. So you gotta make shoes off your favorite colors though. So every shoe almost got red in it, or they got at least one red colorway. So
you funny?
I mean, I'm not being funny. People like red. You know, what I'm
people
saying?
like red, but it's like, yo, like, how many red dunks do we need?
When you wear red. So
how many red dunks do we need, bro?
It's more than the coast. It's a community.
Oh, you represent the whole coast. You know what
I'm saying? How many red dunks do we need? It's nice to see.
That's your new name.
It's nice to see other color combinations other than the usual ones we see all the time. I thought this was cool, and I like that quilted look.
What jersey you gonna wear with this?
There ain't no jersey you can wear with these.
Oh, so you can get a custom jersey.
No, just rock a t-shirt with these.
I would be curious to know, like, that blue color, like how light is
like
that turquoise
seafoam teal type of.
Because I was thinking not USC or UCLA. Maybe the white jersey because that seafoam won't.
Too dark.
I think the closest thing you can even touch it with is
MPLS,
the old school of entertainment, Chargers.
But I mean, that's basically the same. It's close to the same type.
Well, that
colors.
blue a little bit lighter than that UCLA blue.
But that's why I say I feel like if you go with the white jersey, because that blue won't stand out as much.
But,
yeah, if you go with the white one, yeah,
that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, the white one.
Yeah. Ugliest release of the week, and I'm interested to see our response to this because there's a big reason besides the shoe itself that I feel like these are ugly. We have the Prada Special Edition Adidas Luna Rosa 21 MGH Solid Gray, Matte Silver, and Red. So does Brendan Doom figures find the picture?
We had this show on here before.
Yeah, it was it was on the buy or buy segment that we did a while ago. It finally dropped.
At least they got the grade right.
So the ticket on these boys is like $600, almost $700.
So they got the grade right.
Almost $700.
People were paying that for Yeezys though. With boosted.
These look like aluminum foil, like a baked potato wrapped in aluminum foil.
You know, I wish Gilbert Arenas was still hooping because he definitely hooping that.
Oh yeah.
People fail to realize he was the first PJ Tucker.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, people don't give him his fight. He was the first one to hoop.
I mean, look, he hooped in some Air Max Pluses. Like you gotta give him, gotta give him props for that, man.
Joints, he hooped in the Prada joints. He hooped at everything, bro.
But I'm just like, I'm looking at this shoe, and you know, a lot of times, this is once again indicative of a lot of shoes. I feel that, you know, the selling point is the brand name. It ain't the shoe, right? You hear Prada, you hear Adidas, and it's just like, okay, you should just buy these. You should drop $700 on these.
But I think the thing is with the designer shoes going on lately is that it's just the uglier, that polarizing look. That's their trend now. You go from the Balenciaga shoes,
I mean, with those
with the Nike Monarchs they did with Homegirl, it looked like Martin when he got beat up. We had an allergic reaction.
Oh yeah,
dumb gym joints. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just that's that thing.
But you know the interesting thing with those, they're not necessarily ugly.
It's just the covered up eye steaks.
Yeah, you know what I mean. And the ticket on them is pretty ugly, but. I mean, that would have been something.
If you're gonna charge me $700 for something,
that's what I'm saying. I'd expect better.
Game, bro.
I mean, that literally looks like something that Adidas basketball would make.
That's the same company that charges you $300 for a T-shirt, $200 for a T-shirt. You just buy that for the name. Some of them stuff do be made nice, and some of the shirts are custom made. Like you don't order them from like a manufacturer, but yeah.
I'm just looking at the shoe. I'm like, why would I want a baked potato wrapped in aluminum foil for $700?
What's our place? What's that place on the east side on Grass? We went to Steaks.
Start with a C.
Yeah.
Is that Cutters?
Huh?
Is it Cutters?
No, it's Black Restaurant.
Yeah, small.
This is what we about to spend.
I know we about to spend a good portion of the show trying to figure out food we not gonna get right now.
I forgot the name.
Especially with it being on the east side.
Because they got the Monaco steak.
You should know.
The T-bone.
I know. I do know. I can see it.
It start with a C, don't it?
Yes.
That's why I said it's not. I could have sworn
it's gonna be until my tongue for like the entire show, and then at some point, Google it.
That's what they do. They bake potatoes in.
I'm really about to Google.
But they ain't charging you $700 for them either. Anyway, you know what? Since we're doing all right, we talked about it. Let's get to our buy or buy segment. And this is where we kind of we either decide that we want to buy the shoe.
Yeah, capers. Yeah.
I know it was something with a C.
Yeah. Whatever I want to say, Karl. Like, I don't know why.
Well, I said
Cutters. I was about to say cuter, but that's a dealership. I'm about to say cuter, but that's a dealership.
Sorry, Eastside, I don't go over there.
But no, this is a segment where we either choose to buy the shoe or say bye to the shoe. So let's start off with this one. And I'm actually interested in this. This is one of the few silhouettes that Jordan Brand got right, and that's the Jordan Point Lane Urban Jungle. The three colorways, well, the few handful of colorways I've seen have actually been pretty cool. I would actually buy these. I would actually buy these.
Really?
Yeah.
You serious?
You hate Spizikes.
Yeah.
You really would buy that?
Hell yeah, I hate Spizikes.
But you buy
that look like an old school Reebok. Like
and that's a bad thing?
I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it's like
because everything. Look, just because two shoes mesh silhouettes together doesn't mean it's good. Remember, what was the shoe we talked about last show? The 17.
Oh, the 61723.
Yeah, like that was the mashup. That shit was horrible.
The Spizikes would transition from the sole to the upper like seamlessly. This one you can tell like the 6 at the 4-foot sticks out with the MA2 bottom. The upper looks somewhat like some 6s. The back heel tab
looks smooth.
It's just
and for what they're trying to go for with this shoe, because it's obviously what's the shoe that they're
it's a hybrid.
No, the colorway, the color blocking is
the jungle,
the Air Raid.
They tried that. It didn't sell.
They did it on the Jordan 8.
Yeah.
2018, 19. Yeah, they
on
did
the
the Jordan 8.
Yeah. I gotta pull them up. I ain't seen those.
And then they dropped a bunch of the urban jungle colorway
I actually
stuff
like
on
these.
there.
I ain't gonna lie,
I'm surprised they didn't say that for Black History
I
Month
actually
since they
like
wanted to say
these.
urban jungle.
I'm not a big fan of mashups because to me it's just lazy.
Why did
but
urban gotta be jungle? I don't know. Well, make
That's
some
what I
suburban
said.
jungle shoes.
Yeah.
I ain't
It is wild in the burbs, man.
It is wild
It's
in the
crazy.
burbs. It is wild in the
It
burbs.
I
is
mean,
crazy.
anytime you with that, they getting high for free iron. It's crazy out
Listen,
there.
all I'm
Sniffing
saying is
glue.
that you watch the ID channel enough, it's mostly suburban white folks.
Yeah, forensic.
commit most of these crimes.
I tell
These?
people all the
these are
No,
South
no,
Beach.
that's
South Beach.
yeah. No,
Forensic Files is the real news for the suburban area. You ever watch Forensic Files? It's
Forensic
the real.
Files?
I've seen like 2 or 3 black people on there. It's
Real
all,
talk?
Yes, it's all. And
Real
they doing
talk.
the most crazy stuff. Dude went looking for a guy who looks like him. Found him at the Home Depot. Asked him to come do some work at his crib. Burnt the garage on fire. So when they did the body examination, the
Yeah.
size and height looked like the
it
dude
all matched up.
faked
To,
this. You know what I'm
As
saying?
if DNA is the same. Like, because
Like
you look the
that's,
same as him.
he got
Dumbass.
caught because he was emailing his wife.
No, I seen one
That's
even
like
dumber
he
than
got-
that, where a guy faked his own death. He dug up a body, put it in the car, drove it off the road, set it on fire, went back, dyed his hair, cut off his facial hair, and tried to show. Now, mind you, him and his girl had kids. He shows back up at his girl's house in front of his kids. His kids still recognize him, right? Her family members are like, you know, they thinking that this dude is dead, and the kids are like, no, our daddy was just over here a couple days ago. One day the sister comes over. He tries to hide in the closet. His legs are sticking out, right? And then when the police are like trying to figure out, because like you know, your boyfriend just died. You got kids with him. You would think there'll be some type of grieving period. Like 2 weeks after the funeral, she's already dating a new dude that just so happens to look like her ex. So then they catch him in the Taco Bell
I got one even crazier than
in
that.
Texas.
I got crazier than that. It was an older, they had to be 70s, 60s or 70s. These 2 Caucasian ladies were dating each other, old ladies, right? They
Two
had it-
Caucasian.
Yeah, oh, yes, bro. This is crazy.
Why are we saying white? You think-
he's so politically
I'm
correct.
I know. Yeah, so we they coming right. So I guess they were. I guess one of the lady lover will start messing somebody else at the church, and the old lady does a drive by in her station wagon.
Oh, I saw that.
I was like,
What kind of shit is
"That's
Yes.
Forensic Files, bro."
At
A
the
drive
church,
by
bro.
in the station wagon.
At the
Dog,
church.
Why they leaving Bible class? She
Yeah.
does a drive by, bro. 70-year-old like, you sleeping with my girl?
Yep.
Like,
She said, Riverside, motherfucker. And then- was it Riverside Baptist?
it was like, that was crazy, bro. Forensic Files. That's the real news.
They real talk. Yeah.
That's the real news.
But anyway, I will buy these. Especially, I think the price point is like 90 or 100. So yeah, I will buy these.
Price
I ain't
point
mad
ain't
at
no $90 on that.
I think it's relatively cheap.
The 120.
That's still relatively cheap.
That ain't 90.
Oh, God damn it, Gino. Anyway, I will buy these. Obviously, y'all not feeling those. So we're going to the next one. We got the Adidas Dame 7 Dame Gnosis. Can you go full screen with these?
You'd buy those too, right?
No,
I know you like Shaq Gnosis.
I
so-
want. Well, the Shaq Gnosis looks different, and these I
don't
want
know
to.
if
I
I
want
don't
to.
know.
That's the thing. I want to.
The crazy part about this is how Shaq got to be cold for this. He has his own shoe company, but still allowed to do deals with Reebok on his other. You know,
Oh, yeah,
that's
shout to Shaq for that.
Yeah,
That's
you know what I'm
just-
saying? Because he has most times when you own your own shoe brands you used to work with, but they don't want to be done nothing to do with you. But
Yep.
somehow his relationship was good enough with Adidas and Reebok that they was able to make that happen.
Yeah,
Then it has his name on the shoe. They just like, oh, look what the Shaq knows. His name is on the shoe.
yeah.
So that's pretty. The Dame 7 wasn't bad.
No, they ain't saying one
I
bad.
just wish it was a
I
little
don't
bit
hate
more
these.
comfortable. Like,
Can I say
just
that? I don't
would've-
hate these.
No, I don't. It's
His,
alright.
his shoes have not been comfortable since maybe like what, the Dame 3?
I don't think I have a pair of Dames. So
Nah, this one was nice.
You
And
know-
I like what they did when he scored that. What was that? 55-point game. His shoes. They marked out his shoes for $55.
yeah,
That was dope.
That was
That was
ni- yeah,
dope.
that was
marketing. That
nice.
was dope marketing.
You know what? I'm gonna say. You know, what? I'll buy these because they probably going for what? I mean, no, they probably going for like
Yeah,
$100.
$100.
Yeah,
Probably get it for
I'll
$100.
buy these. I ain't mad at it because they're not horrible.
I wouldn't buy it. I like. I mean, it's
I
straight.
will, I will buy these.
I respect them.
If given a
about
choice
that?
to say buy or buy, I will buy. Like purchase.
Yeah, all right.
It's respectable.
Yeah,
But
it's
I
cool.
wouldn't buy
I think
Let's go.
we got our respect for Dame is so much that we ain't gonna just trash his shoe off in GP like that.
I mean, 'cause
it.
these ain't- we've
His
seen
shoe-
bad
His
shoes.
his shoes really are never trash though.
They're middle of the road.
yeah,
Yeah, exactly. That's what I said. Like they're not.
They don't stand out, but they're not horrible.
I mean, probably like the only pairs that he had that, I mean, for the hype beasts out there would say that stood out was when he did the bait. Well, what was that? The Dame 5, I think it was.
Nah.
That he wore in the All-Star game.
It was a little earlier than that, maybe in a 4 or 3. But don't wasn't bad either. But
I know that's what the hype beast would point to and say. So,
the next shoe we got, I know that the hype on this is gonna be unreal. We got the Nike LeBron 18 Low Stewie.
well, why they won't just drop the?
Six, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
You know what we just say? Nike knows what you want. They like fuck you. We'll give it to you when we want to.
I would buy it because it's comfortable. I like the 18 Low is very.
These ain't
comfortable.
bad looking either. Honestly,
not
this fits this silhouette extremely well. These are clean. I like them. I buy. I knew it. I was like, watch.
well, I don't like. You already know I don't like LeBron 18 Lows. Like, I just don't.
You don't like LeBron's. Do you like any LeBron's?
Yeah, I
You got
about
the South Beach. Yeah, you got that.
But I've liked no, I'm not. I've liked
flip
LeBron since the LeBron the LeBron 6s. That was the first pair when those first came out. LeBron's had some dope shoes for a while.
Yeah, I think the 6s is the ones that got no. Yeah,
LeBron
Six's
6s
commercial was fire.
I think that's probably why I ended up getting the shoe too. Because
I gotta see those again to remember.
Six's commercial was fire.
I can't
He had
remember
the afro on.
Because I ain't gonna lie to you, the first even
Adam, see if you can pull up a pair of the LeBron 6s.
because even like the first couple of LeBrons I wasn't feeling because they just look like bulky ass.
That one actually are the
basketball
most slimmer ones. Like it gets heavier after the 5. So if you go back and get some LeBron 2s, Zoom Generations, like those are not as bulky. The 4 is probably the heaviest LeBron, but like the first couple
Heavier than the 2s?
Yes, 2s were not that heavy. I just wore 2s the other day to work. 2s not that heavy.
2s look heavy.
No, 2s are the lighter one. They're probably one of his lightest shoes. Out that 1 through that leather suede run up to the 7/8, that was probably his lightest shoe. He said on the live.
Yeah, LeBron 6s.
No, I wasn't feeling these.
When I seen the shoe and then when I tried it on, felt great.
Double stack zoom through the whole shoe.
No, I mean they probably are comfortable, but I wasn't feeling them like the
wear it
LeBron.
next
I think
to
the LeBron 7s is definitely where I was like, okay, I can get with these.
Cause which was it the LeBron 7 or 8 where they started doing the LeBrons?
No, they started doing the LeBrons, the 3s. The 3s where it was an old LeBron, it was the last LeBron, business LeBron, after LeBron. They started doing the 3s. The 4s, he dove into the swimming pool with all the different LeBrons.
Yeah.
And then they did them the 5s. And then the 6s, this shoe right here. Remember the lead singer from the Pussycat Dolls, Nicole? Yeah. He had her in the commercial, and he was massaging her foot, took the shoe off and put that one on. Like, he was kind of serenading her. That was dope.
What was this commercial played on?
He was on Nike. It was a Nike commercial. Yeah.
Pornhub commercials.
This probably went on, what's that, Uncut used to come on
Nike Uncut.
That was dope.
Now, this next shoe, honestly, out of all these shoes, I'm so gassed up for these. They just dope to me. And that's the ESPN Special Edition Adidas Top 10 High Sports Center. These clean to me. Can we go full screen with that?
I mean, out of everything that's been on the list so far, that would be one that I probably would buy.
Like, they look dope as hell. For those that care about the material or the quality. I mean, they look from the pictures. Once again, they can put whatever print they want on the leather. But
so if the quality bad, would you still buy?
If the quality was suspect, what's the first thing I said? They look dope. That was the very first thing I said.
I'm just saying, like when you get it, in the quality.
You don't want a shitty quality, but I mean, if it's okay quality and it looks dope. I mean, shit, I bought Jordans that had horrible quality. So
yeah, we all did. What year was that?
2012?
Pick one. Pick one after 2000. After 2011. Pick one. Pick one after 2011.
Honestly, though, man, these are so nice. Man, everything about this release is dope to me. The box, the packaging, they got the lace jewelry on there. I mean, I love top 10s. I mean,
you gonna take it off and get it busted down?
Wow.
At Hutchins. At Hutchins, you gonna take it down.
Wow. But no, like this. I mean, top 10s ain't hard to sell in Detroit, but man, like, I hope people sleep on these. I really do. I hope
well, they won't sleep on them out here. You know that.
Oh, not out here, but
I don't think so because people with top 10 customers like to walk in the store and get them. They're not too keen on ordering them. because they come from an era where you walked into Sibley's and everywhere else and bought
Shit,
them.
that era long gone, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying they'll still if they come in there. If they won't have the color we going, they'll just grab the black and white one, whatever is on the shelf. They don't want to order their top 10s.
But I think ESPN is gonna pump this up to, they're gonna push the hell out of this. So
Well, yeah, because they're not paying Maria Taylor. She already signed to NBC, so.
Oh, did she?
Yeah.
Shout out to her, man. Good for her, man.
Jeez.
I like the fact that she walked away. Like, I'm good. See ya.
Like I said, NBC
And they
definitely threw the bag at her.
ESPN threw the bag at her too. She was gonna make darn near second highest pay underneath what?
Yeah, but
Stephen
for what?
A?
Dog, you
For-
can't
for
put a
what?
price on your man,
Integrity?
Yeah. I respect her so much for that, man. So it's like, okay, like let Rachel Nichols carry y'all. Y'all got it. Like for real.
I didn't understand why they had her at the games, but the commentating crew they had to make them call the game from home. I didn't understand that. Like, if I would have the commentating crew at the game, you know what I'm saying?
Man,
But
ESPN doing so much dumb shit.
that was TNT and ABC.
No, I'm saying as far as ESPN, like just the way they.
Well,
How
boy.
they handled that?
Why would you record that conversation knowing that it was incriminating?
No, they
Audio.
didn't know
They
it.
said
No, the
said
camera
it
was still on.
It was accidentally recorded.
Yeah, it wasn't him.
But he caught heat too. That was LeBron. What was he for LeBron? He was like
PR.
his
You
PR or
should catch
something.
heat.
PR.
Well, that's
you
what I'm
tired of
saying. No,
being-
but that's why it was interesting that he said it and he's LeBron's PR person. So it's like
Your boss stand for everything you just spoke against.
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
that was
just-
like that.
But that
That's
made you-
wild.
But that lets you know they can go work for anybody, despite how what your cause is. Oh yeah, we all for the cause, hooray! And then they get off of work. I'm tired of
I'm
these
so
black
tired of
people.
this, man. He's N-words.
I'm tired of this Black Lives Matter and this Me Too. This is draining.
Man.
I mean, I felt like she made good points up until the part when she brought up Maria Taylor.
Yeah.
Like that was a legitimate concern. Like, hey, don't take something away from me because you got poor diversity and just toss it a girl. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when she continued on with the Maria part, that's what got her. If she
Yeah.
had stopped with ESPN, you got sucky diversity,
Which they do.
and don't take an opportunity away from me because you're not catching up.
I'm just saying, like, the analyst, I mean, not even just that part. Like, ESPN's analyst, and like, they got Kendrick Perkins. Like, the most underrated analyst on that network and doesn't get nearly enough respect is Tim Legler, man, because that dude does a great job of breaking down the game.
for sure.
Tim Legler is
pretty good.
And they pulled this dude up for 5 minutes at the, like, on what's my name show at, like, midnight. To talk about some shit. Like, but yet they get Kendrick Perkins on like 5 different shows, and I'm like, dog, get this clown off. Dude was just a week ago. They need to fire the Bucks coach. Giannis ain't this, that, whatever, just to be like, oh, they a dynasty. Shut up.
But that's how
That's why I was like, Jalen went off on him the way he did. Like.
But then Jalen apologized.
Man, fuck that, man.
I didn't like Jalen apologizing. The network probably pushed him to do so.
Oh yeah, they probably did.
I mean, now with sports analysts, you gotta have somebody with polarizing takes, though, and that's what they like.
You don't have to. You don't have to though. That's the thing.
You're looking at it from a common sense. You don't have to point. You gotta think.
You looking at it from the point of you like sports, right?
Yes.
So what about the person that doesn't like sports? They're going to tune in for the hot take.
No,
that's what's going to point them in.
Here's the problem.
All it is.
Why do you think Stephen A. Smith is able to do what he's doing?
Here's the problem with that type of thinking, right? It's like a car crash. Like, people slow down to watch a car crash, right? After so many car crashes, they no longer become unique. And at a certain point, people look back.
We drive every day, and people still do that. And we've seen every type of car crash, and people still slow down.
Because you don't see it on an everyday basis, but when you have it on every day.
94 have an accident every day.
Well, I'm not driving on 94.
So, I mean, let's be.
My point is, if it comes on the same time, Monday through Friday, at a certain point, it's like, and this is why they're losing ratings, because it's like, okay. Like, everybody's trying to recreate the wheel instead of just, giving us some good sports. ESPN wasn't always like that. They didn't always have to do that shit. Just like Jerry Springer. It was like, okay, like, you can have Jerry Springer, but that shit gets old after a while.
But what
this is why Oprah was on for as long as she was, and he was on as short as he was.
But what people tune into now is they want to see the characters. They don't care about the message. They want to see the person that's delivering the message.
You have to have an analyst that has that.
You set the menu.
You have to have the analyst to represent a certain fan base. People
who
like
saying,
LeBron haters, Jordan lovers, Kobe. Like, that's what it is when it comes. Skip Bayless made a career off of hating on one person. Huh? No objective journalism. Just
Yes, but I don't want to see a million Skip Baylesses. I don't want to see a Skip Bayless on every network.
But if he's making $20 million a year, and people are gonna think like, why don't I do that? Same thing with rappers. People see how J, Biggie, Pac,
because not everything is applicable. Like just because Skip Bayless is able to do it,
understand that, but it doesn't stop people from trying.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I'm saying I agree with you. People are going to replicate what they see. I'm just saying as a network, right? Like if I'm trying to open a restaurant, McDonald's obviously is successful. They got
if you're
McDonald's
thinking as a black man who's trying to run a network
build
off
a
integrity.
McDonald's burger just because they sell. It's like, I want to make a good quality burger.
But bro,
I don't have to do that shit. Like I'm just saying, I get your point that sometimes the consumer has a say in the menu, but you also have a say in setting the menu as well. And if you give people choices, like if you give people $5 choices, they're gonna make $5 decisions. If you give them a choice of here's a $5 choice, but here's a $10 one too, they might actually choose the $10 choice. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but you just said they might.
They might.
That's the key point.
They
might.
have the options.
They might.
Nothing's definitive.
No, but I'm saying that. Well, actually, it is because what's proven to work is what the network is going to push.
It's not, but it's proven not to work. This is why there's a state of flux, especially at ESPN, because they're losing ratings because it's no longer nobody just tunes in.
They lose ratings because people don't have as much cable as they used to do.
Not even that, because even the cable shit, you still can get ESPN. They got the app.
But you gotta pay for no app for something that you watch.
Everybody has an ESPN app now.
Bro, nobody wants. I'm not saying they have it, but I'm not about to pay for no ESPN.
Especially when they had that bundle with the Disney and shit. It was like you pay $15 for 3 different apps.
Like honestly, they're probably more so losing ratings because think about how long an ESPN show is.
That's another thing.
People's attention span is like that.
So nobody's gonna idiots barking at each other. I don't want to watch
also
that shit.
too, because it's like instead of watching the whole show, I can go on YouTube and watch the segment I want to watch.
Exactly.
So I mean,
that's true too.
So.
But why watch ESPN? You can check out Woodward Sports. You know?
Exactly, right.
Yeah, you know.
If you want to hear somebody with some horrible takes, watch Adam on whatever. What's this? The Morning Woodward Show? I'm not even on this show. Are you not on there no more?
You got kicked off?
Yeah. What? Yeah. After that Westbrook take?
Nah, man, I'm off. I'm off.
That's
Did y'all ever hear his Westbrook take?
Nah, he was
man, I don't think Russell Westbrook's as good of a guard as everybody says he is. I don't even think he's a fucking top 6 point guard in the league right now. Tell me I'm wrong.
He pulled Washington from
you deserve to get kicked off the show.
You said he wasn't top 10 ever, and I was like, ooh.
I don't think he's top 10 ever.
I mean, he pulled what he did with Washington this year. I gotta give him credit for because he pulled them from the 13th seed to the playoffs.
Here's the thing though, and I asked him to name like 10 other guards he couldn't though.
Well, that's what I was actually just about to ask for. Is you say you don't think he's top 6?
Because in the league right now,
yeah,
as a point guard.
As a point guard,
who's better?
All right, you got Trey, Steph. Let's see. Help me out here. You got Trey, Steph, Damian Lillard. Mm-hmm. All right.
Okay.
Let me get my shit down. Give me a second. John Morant for sure. Take him over Westbrook.
That's 1 year though. You can't have one high year.
What do you mean?
What
do you mean?
I mean, they kind of similar.
I
was on real talk.
Ooh, I don't know.
They play the same way. Yeah.
Why you thinking
of John's a little bit more. He's
less turnovers.
Yeah, no, because while he's thinking about the other people that he want to put over Westbrook, his point of contention was leadership, and I agree. Leadership is a component, but when you have somebody who's done something that only one other person in NBA history has done, average a triple-double in a whole season, and he's done it multiple times.
Okay,
so,
but
he's the only one ever do that.
The league today is at a totally different pace. The big men aren't in the block anymore.
True.
So everybody gets rebounds. The point guards, the shooting guards, the small forwards. It's not a.
That's actually true. I'll give you that.
No, like, I'm not trying to diss 6 rebounds.
Right.
I'm not trying to diss Russell Westbrook when I say what I say, but the triple doubles sometimes I feel like the praise for it is way too much, considering he's played with Paul George, he's played with KD, he's played with James Harden. Like he doesn't make his teams better.
But Oscar did play with
Kareem.
So.
No, I'm not bringing up Oscar. But
Steph played with KD and Clay and Draymond. They played with CJ McCullough. Who else you had on that list?
What's up?
Trey Young, probably the only person when I say he ain't really played with an All-Star. But who else you had?
John Collins could be an All-Star.
I mean, you got Luka. Would you take Luka over Russell?
Luka's. I will give you Luka, but
My whole point of the argument when I was on the show was I don't know how we can talk about Russell Westbrook as being a superstar when there was not one point throughout his career where he was regarded as the best at his position. He wasn't. We were never
doesn't make you a
talking
superstar.
about.
Just because you weren't number one doesn't mean you're not a superstar.
Yeah, but he was never 2. He was never 3. It was even when he was putting up the triple-double years. He was an 8th seed with Oklahoma City.
But did he win MVP? Yeah,
he won MVP.
No, I know. He deserved to win MVP.
That don't mean shit.
You can't confuse the two. Come on.
He was the best point guard. He was just the best player in the league.
Steve Nash has 2 MVPs. Don't give me that shit.
Who?
Steve Nash has 2 MVPs. Don't give me that
true.
shit.
Steve Nash got it off of
Steve, and they robbed Jason Kidd.
And
They
Shaq.
robbed Jason Kidd. They
but
robbed
also
Shaq.
too-
They robbed Kobe.
Kobe.
They low key robbed Tim Duncan that year too, because he
Oh,
could
they
have
go
got it
Stick.
too.
Oh boy, we could just have a show with Stick and Adam just going at it. Stick. we just brought up his hot take about Westbrook.
Oh.
It's not a hot take. Give me that shit.
Is that why he got kicked off the
That's
Off
why he
the
got
morning
kicked
show?
off the show.
ridiculous hot takes about Westbrook? No, I get what you're saying about Westbrook to a certain degree.
See, ESPN app.
I know the ESPN tripping at
That's
Adam
not
up.
me, man.
He hates it, but he watches it.
Russell Westbrook just tweeted.
Yep. But no, I get your point, but at the same time, like Westbrook, I mean, how could you not like the guy? I mean,
It's not about liking. Like, I can
no, he's
appreciate
not.
how
I wouldn't
great
say he
is.
was number one.
Yeah, I
but
can
at the same
appreciate
time,
how great he is, but I also realize that there's like a huge amount of deficiencies with the guy.
so you don't think he's a superstar?
No, by definition, no. But then again,
What's
me
the
and you disagree
definition
on
of?
definition.
What's the definition
Because
again?
your definition of a superstar was they were basically above average all-star from when we chatted
I mean,
earlier.
there's all-star, there's star, and then there's superstar.
And I reserve superstar for the elites, the guys who not only win the regular season awards, but perform in the playoffs and get their teams to conference finals and NBA finals and actually win.
But like, you could be a superstar now, like 10.
Yeah, but there are only like,
So
guys.
by your logic,
but I kinda
Jordan was a
agree with
superstar
that.
in '91.
Huh?
I mean, in 1990, by your recollection, right now, by your saying, Jordan wasn't a superstar in 1990.
Russell Westbrook, he was 6 years in the NBA. We're talking about Russell Westbrook year 13, 14. His career is defined.
But he's also
Again,
playing
when you say
team.
when you say perform, you mean individual performance or team performance?
Both matter.
Nah, bro, because you could
'Cause it-
ball
it
out and
depends
your
on what
team
your
can be
team
trash.
has,
We
too.
seen that.
Yeah, you
we've
can
seen
ball
that.
out,
We've
but
seen Because what made Jordan a superstar was the fact that he was balling
Barkley,
out.
Is Charles Barkley a superstar, yes or no?
Yes.
Hell yeah, obviously.
Right.
Russell Westbrook, though, is not. There's a clear
They've been
difference
to the
between
same amount
two.
of finals. They got the same amount of MVPs.
One got to the finals with James Harden and Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant was
Yeah, I
clearly
like
the best
Kevin,
player
but
on that
I
team.
was gonna say
Come on.
to his point though,
on.
James Harden was also coming off the bench.
Charles Barkley did carry that Suns
Yeah, I
team
was
to
gonna
the
say,
finals.
yeah, there's a difference.
I mean, Russ has never.
So we're not going to acknowledge Kevin Johnson now?
Paul George.
We're not going to talk about
No,
Kevin Johnson now?
Kevin Johnson,
Time
all-star.
out.
KJ?
Time out.
Kevin Johnson was.
Kevin
he wasn't a
Johnson was
superstar.
nice, but he wasn't no superstar.
He wasn't a superstar.
He was.
If you take
He was an all-star.
If you
Yeah,
take
he was an
KD off,
all-star.
you take KD off of there. They don't go to the finals. Obviously, if you remove Kevin Johnson off that '93 Suns team, I don't think Barkley going to the finals.
If I
Yeah, they
remove
going to the
Russell
finals.
Westbrook
No.
from
They got a
any of his
super point
teams,
guard?
the same thing happens.
But they got a suitable point guard. Because here's the thing: Kevin Johnson was an all-star. KD is a superstar. So they on two different levels altogether.
Plus, the way that team was put together, I mean, you had Dan Marley, you had who else did you have?
Cedric
Chapman,
Sabalos.
Rex
Yeah,
Chapman.
Rex
Oliver
Chapman.
Miller, bro. Like, come on, man. He a starting center.
Shit, you had Danny Ainge. He was there that year.
Danny Ainge was just a pest. He was
He would shoot, and he would run the offense when
was
Kevin
a
Johnson would go on the bench.
He was a better shooting Dellavedova.
Oh wow! Don't do that.
No, but the
I'm
thing
saying.
that drives me nuts about Adam's argument about Russell Westbrook is we sat in that room and he said he's top 8 all time in the NBA.
I said I could
Yeah,
make
he
the
did
argument.
say that.
He said he was
I
top
said
8
that.
all
Whoa,
time in the NBA.
Whoa,
He did say that.
I said you could make the argument if you really wanted to sit down. You could put him anywhere from 8 to 10 to even 12. Like I could make the case.
All
that
time,
Russell-
right?
All time, but that
So how
doesn't make
about
you a
a superstar?
superstar.
He's not
Get
a
out of here
superstar.
with
No,
that shit.
yeah,
Get out of
he's a
here.
superstar.
Adam, if you
I'm
top 10 all
confused.
time, you are a superstar, bro.
All right, Gino, you gotta help me out.
Hey man,
I can't help you with that one because I'm confused. Like,
no, come on. What are we doing here?
over 2,000 players that played that game in the course of 20, 30 years, bro. You telling me if you top 10 of all time, you're not a superstar?
Yeah,
you know how
you
many
would
people
have
come
to
on
be
the
a
court?
superstar.
You top 10. Thank
Yeah.
you, Stick. Stick came in at the right time.
I can't believe
I
I walked
just
in.
waited in the car until the subject came up.
How many times we've had this conversation, Adam, and I walk into this shit?
All right. Here, let's go through the list, though. Let's just make the list.
Okay, let's go through the list.
We can agree Magic, Isaiah,
Yes. Yep.
Steph,
Yes.
Stockton, Nash,
Yes.
Kid.
Yes.
All right, we're gonna go Oscar.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Let's see.
Are we going? Was
going
Bob
off?
Cousy in
Yeah, I
there?
was Say Bob
we're going
Cousy.
Chris Paul
No.
Jerry West.
over their whole careers.
Jerry West.
Bob Cousy.
Bob Cousy for
Jerry
sure.
West.
I'm
Bob
taking him
Cousy, Jerry West.
Okay, so now I'm at 9 right now, and that's without Chris Paul.
I don't think Chris Paul is above Westbrook.
How?
I would say they about par.
Walt Frazier?
Yeah, I
Frazier?
was gonna say Walt Clyde Frazier.
Was he
yeah.
a point guard? I thought he was a shooting.
And I mean, if you want to talk about like team accomplishment, like guys who were essential to their teams, Tony Parker? No?
He was essential to that team.
You taking
I'm about to
Penny?
say something.
You taking Penny over?
So like
Russ?
Draymond Green, he's essential to that team. Now will he be the same player on any other team?
No.
Tony can run.
Come on.
Tony Prime. Tony can
Well,
I
run.
he
was
be
just
the
saying,
same
Tony,
player.
but Tony did what Tony did year after
You got
year
Gary
after
Payton.
year
No,
after
no, no.
year.
With
You
the
got Gary
Spurs.
Payton.
I'm
you
saying
got-
when he
It
be the
didn't
same.
matter.
Ball.
Draymond couldn't do what he did in his their first finals run. He couldn't keep that
Draymond is
up.
overrated.
Draymond fell off.
My point is, all right, okay, better example. Ben Wallace. He was great here. He was horrible everywhere else.
But we not.
By the time he went everywhere else, he already,
But
he
no
already
one's
passed his
Bullet
prime.
He was on other teams before us.
Yo, let's go back though. Right, we had 9. All right, and then
Okay.
I said Walt.
Yes.
I gave you Tony, but we can debate. That's cool.
I love how
Like,
he added
whatever.
the old players too. Shout out to
Gary
him.
Payton,
Yeah, you got
Nate
Was he?
Archibald,
you got
Nate Archibald, I get-
Tiny
I feel
Archibald,
like-
Gary Payton.
I feel like
give you that.
they similar.
That's the thing. If you're going to hold Russell Westbrook to this I don't win championships thing, then you got to
Then,
hold
right, you
Stockton,
gotta
you
throw out
got to
Nate.
hold Peyton, you got to hold
I
Kid.
don't hold
Like, you
Peyton
got to
won a
do
chip.
all
No,
of
Kid
that.
got a
to
chip.
them.
Payton did win a
Peyton
chip.
Kid got a chip.
And Kid was
When did Peyton
essential
get his?
to
Went
his
to
team
Miami
winning the
Heat.
chip.
Yeah, guys.
Oh, that
like-
doesn't count.
That
That doesn't count.
He had changed his
That
game.
doesn't count.
He changed his game.
Six,
No.
7
Yeah.
minutes.
No,
Okay,
no.
so you're the
I
seventh man and you win a championship.
And he was shooting
That doesn't
threes.
But you
count to
got
being a
20 minutes. You got
superstar.
about 20 minutes of playing time.
He had
So
found-
that,
he
Okay,
had-
all right. Then
So
Dark
he-
goes the best
I
big
get what
man.
Stick is saying though, but he wasn't.
He had developed his
he
perimeter
wasn't,
game by that point.
he wasn't a key player like that. Like he wasn't like top tier. Like when we talk about these players, like Magic Johnson and the Lakers, obviously Magic Johnson was the engine to that team. Michael
Right.
Jordan and the Bulls.
When
obviously
has
he's the
Russell
engine.
Westbrook ever been the engine to his team and they were actually successful?
Listen, that finals run though, he was the only one that showed up. Now
He was the
Yes,
engine.
it was
He
in the
was the
finals.
engine. He was the engine to his team. What was that the first year KD had left because they still made the playoffs?
Yep, he
they
won
made.
the
I think they made the seventh
Seventh
seed.
seed.
Yes,
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 and
And
he
who
was
he
the
had?
And I
only
agree.
person
who
He
he
should
there.
have won MVP that year.
and who
Like,
did he have on that
deserved it.
team? Though?
Steven
Yeah,
Adams.
exactly.
Right,
Steven
Steven
Adams.
Adams. He was the only scoring threat on that team.
So,
You guys are too nice
and
to
he
Russell
did it in the
Westbrook.
West though. And he
And
did it in the West.
Right,
So,
I was
yes.
gonna say.
Yeah.
And they didn't get swept in the playoffs. Didn't they
No,
win
they
one
didn't get-
game?
They didn't get
They
swept.
won a game.
They won. Hey, look, they won a game.
See,
They
saying
at least
this
won a
is-
game. Yeah.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying if he's, even if he's top 20, because I think about, because you said it's what 2,000 players that's played in the last
Yeah.
30 years. Like the NBA has been the NBA for what
They're going on 75 years.
75 years. How many players have played in the last 75 years in the league? If you top 20 all time, bro,
Even
It's
that
400
top 20 at your
It's
position.
450 players in this season that play. 15
4,374 players have appeared in at least one NBA game. You're talking
you
almost
top 20 of that? Dog? Come on,
That's-
bro.
That is
superstar,
that
bro.
is the top 1 percentile.
We're talking the difference between a star and a superstar. He's
That's
not
superstar.
a
If you
superstar.
top
He's a
20
star player. but
If
he's
you
not a
top 20
superstar.
anything, bro, that's superstar.
He's
That's
not a
superstar.
superstar.
That's superstar tier right
not a
there.
superstar, man.
I mean, I know 20 sounds like a lot, but when in
Put
context,
it this way. Russ is a superstar. He has superstar ability. He just doesn't make superstar play. I guess is that more so kind of how you
No.
look at it?
Nope.
no.
No,
Because this is what I was saying.
Russ turnovers and his field goal percentage is what hurts him amongst his point guard peers.
But let's bring up Kobe's field goal percentage.
Well,
So
you
yeah,
can't go
I
by
totally
that.
agree. But everybody turns a blind eye
But
to
you can't
Kobe
even
field
hold
goal.
that
right.
against Russ.
Everybody does,
But
but
you can't hold that against Russell Westbrook either because in today's NBA, more possessions, you have more control.
you're
more
moving out.
shots,
You're
right?
making
James
that
Harden,
point for
that's
us,
like
though.
you guys trying to convince me like James Harden is somehow better than Kobe just because his PER
Who
and
said
all the
that?
other. No.
Oh.
I'm using
he
I'm
can shoot
using
the
the
3 ball
analytical
better than
argument.
Cole. But
You know what I mean?
Anybody that
developed
thinks
that part
Harden
of
is
his
better than
game a lot
Kobe need to be
earlier.
drug
Yeah.
tested.
Well, if you go by PER and all that other bullshit, Just like the turnovers per game. No, it's a consequence of how fast the NBA is played now.
That's what I hate about sports argument
Kobe,
is that they make it one-dimensional. Like, they look at one category and say this person is better. And it's like,
that's why I think the triple-double praise is overrated on Russell Westbrook.
Statistically, Harden was putting up Kobe numbers with 8-9 assists with his 40% three-point field goal percentage. That's why people say it. But Kobe gets the nod because of his
7
leadership,
defense, because he plays fucking defense.
No, let me get to the number one thing. Kobe's performance in the playoff over Harden.
Yes.
That is what gives the nod over
too,
him.
like you even said with Harden's assists, the majority of Harden's assists is him lobbing it to Clint Capella.
Nah.
In his MVP year and his prime years in Houston, he always
but
had...
who was he lobbing it to? And he was driving and kicking it, bro. He was driving and kicking it because he was
driving back.
He wasn't CP in it. He wasn't Chris Paul.
No, he was
LeBron in it from the point.
He was dribble, pull up three.
I'm talking about you talking about Harden or Westbrook? You said
Harden.
Westbrook.
Yeah,
I mean,
Harden.
Harden assists were.
That's what I said. His were basically
Yeah.
like pick and roll lobs. That's what his assists were.
I mean, this year he was still getting 8-9 assists, but
look at the shooter. Look at who's on that team.
But they all didn't play the whole year. They were off on and off.
You had a 3-point tourney champion in what's the white dude?
Harris.
Joe Harris. You got Joe Harris.
This year was the first time when he was really like doing a point guard job.
We made Adam leave, y'all. He's leaving.
I mean, that was a horrible take about Westbrook.
Oh yeah. His bangs are sweating. God, we got the front mistletoe. I told you to get you back for that Kimbo.
No, listen, I get you with the leadership as far as Westbrook because he hasn't actually led his team. Like even Chris Paul did lead the Suns.
I mean, and this would have been no, I guess it wouldn't because technically didn't Bradley Beal average more points this year? Wasn't this his highest points per game average this year?
I think so.
I mean, it was with Russ because he didn't have to do it
exactly.
So you gotta give Russ credit.
So that's what I was gonna say. Like,
yeah. No, I like Russ. I mean, he's one of my favorite players.
He play hard, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Hard.
He play hard every night. You know
I just wish he would kind of have that mentality of like a team first type mentality. But at the same time, look who he's had to play with.
And I also think that when you look at a player, it's almost like how they grew up, how they played. You had to take second fiddle with Katie, but still make your mark. Then he dipped. Then you got to do everything. Then you play with somebody else. Then you got to try to dial it back when you're used to doing everything. It's hard when you just hit that switch on and off so frequently. But
I agree with you.
Yeah, no.
That actually, while they're getting situated, that kind of leads into. We'll get back to the buy segment for a second, but because I mean, since we're on the topic of the NBA and stuff, somebody on Twitter reached out to us. Big Sif on Twitter reached out and asked us, "What's your criteria for the NBA GOAT, and who's in your top 10?" Y'all want me to go first, or yeah?
You go ahead, man.
All right, so I'm gonna answer the first question. Criteria for NBA GOAT, like I was just said a second ago, it's a combination of multiple things, multiple facets, right? Obviously, scoring, defense, impact, accolades, team accomplishments, because especially if you were the focal point of that team, a number of things, right? So that's, to me, because you can look at the stats, but I feel like at the same time you need to watch the game too. Like I always give the example, you can look at somebody's like stats for blocks, right? But somebody might have had a better impact on the game because they deterred a lot of shots that didn't go into the stat book as blocks. They deterred a lot of shots. They kept people from coming in the paint because they were so good defensively. So that's why you got to watch the game and look at the stat book. So with that being said, my top 10, obviously Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, because those two dudes saved the NBA. I know people give credit to Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan made it global, but Magic and Larry actually saved the game of basketball. That shit was on tape delay.
Fair.
You know what I'm saying?
Jordan basically picked up the baton from them. Yeah.
Will Chamberlain, Bill Russell.
I'm going to have to make me a list.
Shaq. Trying to think. Where am I at? 6?
See, this is one I'm about to type on
Kareem.
this
Oh,
out.
man, I almost forgot Kareem. Sheesh. Dr. J. Because that dude gave the NBA a run for his money single-handedly by himself. I mean, the dude, when you think of the ABA, you think of Dr. J. Like, he brought style to the game. I know, once again, people give credit to Michael Jordan for bringing style to the game, but the first person to bring style to the game was Dr. J. Shit. Oh, LeBron, obviously. And then I'm going to shout this person out, and I know I could probably think of other players, But I'm gonna shout this person out too because of he won championships, he got MVPs, and I think he changed the game too. Because for a while he to me was the so in hip hop, right? You remember before Eminem, it was like taboo to have white rappers. So before Dirk, European players were pretty laughed at. You know what I'm saying? It was kind of like Dirk actually made it cool to be a European player. And he really started the stretch for, you know what I'm saying, him, KG, you know what I'm saying, like those type of players. I want to say Dirk, even though I could probably think of some other players that rank above him.
If you don't look down at your shirt.
I said Kobe.
I didn't remember you saying Kobe. I didn't hear you say Kobe.
I didn't say Kobe?
I don't remember you saying Kobe.
Kobe. Like, I mean, because it's hard to, like, on the spot to try to think of, like, every NBA player that's ever played.
You got Kobe on from head to toe.
I thought I said Kobe.
No,
My bad.
said Kobe.
If I didn't say Kobe, then Kobe takes that spot, obviously. That's my top 10, easily. Did I say Bill Russell? I said Bill Russell.
I think you did. I know you said Wilt.
I don't think Wilkinson all up. And I would say that Stan Van Gundy said something that, to me, put everything in perspective. Because when we talk about, we talk about today's league, it's faster, this and everything. Listen, you go back and watch some of those highlights of people back in the day, they was jumping up the gym too. You know what I'm saying? They was playing against Milkman. There was only so many teams. The league was way more condensed, which means that the talent pool was condensed. Like, think about if they was like, okay, we're gonna the NBA has 30 teams now? Okay, we're only gonna have 10 teams, right? Those 10 teams are gonna pick the best players to play, right? When you expand is when it gets watered down, not when it gets condensed. So with that being said, like, I think I need to start putting respect on some of these older players,
but
names.
The older players gotta show love to the newer players too, though. I think it's a catch-22 because, like, people show love to the old, you know what I'm saying? But when the old people get on hate, like Dominique Wilkins, it's not really good because if I play today, I have 40 points because you can't touch nobody. Like, that's not the NBA player's fault. You get mad at the commissioner.
But But that's not a knock on the players though. He's just saying.
But when you say,
but he kind of is knocking.
Yeah, because he's saying you only scoring 40 points because the referee in the game is soft.
Because that's what
that's true though.
But that's not the player's fault though.
But he's not saying it's the player's fault. He didn't say the players.
No, that's what he said.
Yeah,
I can't give this player this amount of credit because the game is softer. He's mentioned about Harden and somebody else too.
Because that's funny. Because that's actually the thing that they say a lot about with Steph. Is that you hear like Charles Barkley always say like, next time that guy comes to try and drive the lane, like he catching the elbow.
I'm not
can't
mad
do
at those
that
players
now.
because if you play the game in a certain way, and especially nowadays they've made it almost exclusively one-sided as far as the offense and the defense, right? If I'm a Dominique Wilkins or somebody who had to play in that era, like I would be like, yeah, like I can't really say this person is better or worse because they have it easier now. So it's so if you have an easier path, then yes, you should be able to accomplish X, Y, and Z.
But also too, you can
like
say,
if you running real quick, if you running track, right, and I had to jump over hurdles and you get to just run straight over, you should beat me. I have to jump over hurdles as opposed to you just running straight forward.
But then is that But then like what Guru was saying, is that my fault? Because that's how the rules have changed.
You are doing
and
what
dictated.
you can do, but if somebody asked me, hey, is Gino faster than so-and-so? I'm going to be like, well, Gino didn't have to run over hurdles, so it's hard to tell. That's not a knock. That's a little truth.
But then would you still, but in that same breath, would you still just take that credit away and say, well, I mean.
No, I'd be like, Gino's a great player, but if I had to choose between.
But that's what those old school players don't do. They don't say, oh, yeah, that guy is great.
Or just say, I won't.
I mean, I think it's implied.
When everybody say, well, because they play, it was like, what they say, it's for this generation, this guy's great. In my generation, we had to play a certain way, X, Y, and Z. So, like, that's kind of how I look at it.
I feel like most players say that it's not comparable. I feel like that's what most people lean on because, quite honestly, it isn't. Because I feel like if you was to take some of these players and take them back in the day, they probably wouldn't be able to perform the same way because it's a lot more physical, and then the training regimen that they're accustomed to now wasn't available back then.
But then the flip side,
if you were to take those players and give them the same training regimen, same practices.
But I
think they would do. I would say this is a lot easier now to score now than
I would say this
been.
though. But players nowadays are bigger, faster, stronger. You got Imani Bates, 11th grade, 6'11", going crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like they're coming, and these guys are like
But once again, a lot of that has to do with the training regimen.
But bro, that 6'11", they ain't had nothing to do before he was.
No, I mean him being 6'11" has nothing to do with that. I'm saying as far as speed and all that other stuff, because they catching these kids at a younger age, especially AAU.
Just so.
You know what I'm saying? They tracking.
Okay,
them
but yeah, I get what you're
but
saying.
AAU wasn't around then. It was implemented.
That's my point.
Yeah, so.
That's my point. They didn't have the same things afforded to them that they got now. Like they catching people like at 10 years old and training them and shit. So yeah, you should be faster if you've been, you getting NBA training from the age of 10. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
but yeah, so I mean, like that's why, man. It's just plus kids are getting bigger. Even the kids who don't play basketball, kids are getting bigger at a younger age.
But this is what
that's evolution.
See, that's what I'm saying.
No, I mean, but let's be real though. Like, it ain't evolved that much dramatically in the last 30 years.
Bro,
like, not to it ain't that big of a difference.
Cousin,
That's what. This is why I always say the NBA does a piss poor job of telling their own story, of showing their own history. Because if you go back and watch some of the old games, those dudes was jumping up the gym too. There's some shit that they was doing. Remember when they tried to do the dunk contest and they was trying to mimic and they still couldn't do the shit? They couldn't do shit Dr. J did in 1975, and this was like 2000 and something. So there's some. That's what I'm saying.
But
like we had this idea.
But there ain't nobody from back in the day that could dunk like Vince.
Ooh, there's a couple.
No, I'm sorry.
There was a couple, bro. What's his name was touching the backboard?
No, it's not.
What was his? Dang, the dude played for the Nuggets.
Bro,
he inducted Michael Jordan into the Hall of Fame. It's gonna drive me nuts. No, I can't think of his name.
I don't think nobody could dunk like that.
I mean, I think probably
there were some jumpers, bro.
Probably the only person that probably would be similar to Vince probably would have been Dominique.
Oh yeah, Dominique.
Yeah, he would have been similar, but
Vince is another.
Dog, Dominique was he did one of the sickest moves I've seen in a game.
But
when he went baseline.
Vince Carter caught a oop in midair and 360'd it. Like caught it, spin and then dunked it. Or the reverse leaning on Rick Smits.
Dominique went up to the basket. Actually, it was a spin move. Went up to the basket with two hands, brought that shit down, and still yammed it with two hands on somebody.
Bro,
that's why I said.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Vince's dunking would have been like that's what Dominique would have been in the league.
If you brought Dominique now, and he had he had the foresight to have all that stuff that happened, right? Like the reason Vince Carter is the reason Vince Carter, and this is when we talk about evolution. The reason things evolve is because somebody created a foundation for you to build upon. Right, Vince Carter. We've seen the 360 dunks. We've seen the free throw line dunks. So Vince Carter came with something different because we've seen all that shit already. Had we not seen that, Vince Carter would have came.
But you also, it's harder to do. It's hard to do it because other people have done it. When no one, Dr. J, would never ever dunked like you.
They would have never thought of doing that shit because back then, I mean, they did the first ever dunk contest.
So that's what I'm saying. Is when you
so it got to start somewhere.
I'm saying Vince.
They gonna come out the gym doing
the
Vince Carter type dunks.
Here's this. That is one.
That's it.
That is the greatest in-game dunk of all time.
Vince Carter is the greatest dunker ever. But my point is, if you were to bring up Dr. J, and he had the foresight of being able to see all the dunks that came before him, and he had to think of something creatively beyond what's already been done, he would have came with some sick shit.
No, I'm not talking about the dunk contest dunks. I'm just talking about like in-game dunks. The dunks he's done in-game were just like sick. No, I'm just
this is why I get mad at the NBA because there's plenty of film of NBA players back in the day before the 1990s and the 1980s that was doing some sick ass shit.
It's called NBA TV.
They don't even show that shit anymore.
Every All-Star weekend they show every single dunk contest.
No, they show every single dunk contest. I'm talking about in-game shit. Like they used to show.
Oh yeah, they don't play as many classic. Yeah, they don't have as many hardwood classic games. I give you that. I will give you that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so you don't know. So people only know what they see. So if all they show you is Michael Jordan from Michael Jordan to now, that's all you're gonna see.
Stolen, I think, when he dunked on
And I say this all the time too. You talk about the best in-game dunk, the best in-game move I have ever seen in my life is Dr. J against the Lakers when he went on one side of the basket to the other. He went out of bounds and came back in with that shit. No, that will forever be the sickest move I've ever seen.
Him dunking on Michael Cooper was pretty dope. I give Michael Cooper credit for how he dunked. No, because look, Michael Cooper gonna dunk because he knows it's coming.
You not blocking Dr. J, my dude.
He knew it was coming,
bro. It's Vince on Alonzo was nasty. Vince on Alonzo was not.
Vince was nasty. Vince was nasty. Like Vince is by far the best dunker.
I'm just saying. Find that Vince Carter versus the Clippers dunk. when he caught that, like that was just.
I'm just saying the reason there's a Vince
realized,
Carter
like,
because there was a Dr. J, because there was a David Thompson.
yeah,
because
but you could still come out and be better. Like because there was Magic and Bird, Michael still came along to be better than them.
No, I agree. I'm
So,
just saying,
like-
but you got to build on something though. That's all I'm saying. Like I feel like a lot of these players get forgotten because Vince the greatest player, Vince Dunker, and it's like okay, the only person you got to watch is Dunker. You got people now saying that Zach LaVine is a better dunker.
I
than Vince
mean,
Carter.
his dunk contest dunks
Been-
are incredible.
Yes.
But in terms of again, for me, it's in game. This was nasty.
Come on, man.
No,
That's
The
a
dunk-
7-footer. That's 260.
Listen.
Like bang.
And he
No.
literally bodied him out the way.
Listen, since we got Dwayne Wade on the screen, Dwayne Wade on Anderson Varejao.
That was nasty.
Oh,
Might
and
be the
Anderson
nastiest.
Varejão's legs like
That is
they
up there with
flip back
Scottie
up.
Pippen with me, though. It's like
I mean, that's another. The Scottie Pippen on Patrick Ewing. That's another nasty
Easily.
in-game dunk.
Michael Jordan on every NBA center ever.
You know, people sleep. Gerald Green was nasty.
Gerald Green was nasty.
Gerald Green was nasty, and he was like the ninth guy on the bench. And if he go back and like,
Because he couldn't do anything else.
but jump, it was ridiculous. But
He couldn't do anything else in the game.
I mean, I'm just saying, like it's been some nasty dunks.
I mean, well, if I had to say a top 10, I did write it out. So I go Jordan is number 1,
yeah,
then Magic,
okay,
then I'd actually go LeBron is number 3, then I go Larry,
okay.
then Kobe.
I don't think Larry gets enough respect. But
He
go ahead.
doesn't. I agree. He doesn't. Then I got Kareem. Then I got Tim Duncan.
Are we ranking these?
I mean, this is for me. I literally
Okay.
made
I
like
didn't
a
rank
top
them.
10.
I just say 10. Okay.
So I got Kareem, then Tim Duncan. Then at 7, or no, at 8, I got Shaq.
Wait. Nah, hold on, bro.
Because I feel like what Tim Duncan did as an NBA player, like Shaq was able to use more athleticism to be able to do what he did.
Thank you,
there
Connie
goes some old
Hawkins.
school
Thank
players.
you. Thank you, David Thompson. I knew that was the one I was thinking about.
I feel like Tim Duncan did, if not more, without the athleticism that Shaq had. And that's even when Shaq was big. Because even when he was smaller, had a smaller frame, he was still more athletic than
The
Tim
most dominant
Duncan.
thing I've ever seen in my life was Shaq, bro.
what? Oh yeah, Shaq.
So
Shaq was a problem, bro.
after Shaq, I got Wilt. And then to round out my top 10, I got to
Vincent
show
Mutombo.
I gotta show love to Detroit. Isaiah Thomas, greatest small point guard, quote unquote small point
beat the
guard.
best players in his prime.
Yeah.
Exactly.
To get a
Yep.
ring.
Bro, 100%.
So,
Isaiah Thomas is another guy that I feel like outside of the city of Detroit
Don't get
does
love.
not
Don't
get
get love.
nearly
100%.
the amount of love that he deserves.
He's the number 2 point guard in my mind.
He dropped 50 on a broke ankle.
Bro,
Come on, man.
that's skill, bro.
Like-
Sorry.
And he could do everything. Like his handle.
His handles.
His
That's another
handle
person
was
we don't talk about.
nasty.
We talk about Kyrie. Now, granted, Kyrie got some of the sickest hands I've ever seen, but Isaiah was a problem with the ball.
Jason Williams' white chocolate was an issue with
Yes,
the ball too. People
yes.
forget about he was nasty.
Yep.
Full court bounce pass.
But if we go on, if
Off
we
his
rank,
elbow.
real quick before Guru gets to his list, if we ranking, I got Kareem at number 1, I got Mike at number 2, I got Magic at number 3, I got Larry at number 4, I got LeBron at number 5, I got Shaq at number 6, I got Kobe at number 7, I got Wilt at number 8. I think I'm on the list. Who else did I have? Damn. Oh, what's his face? Bill Russell number 9, and then number 10. That's a hard one. That is a hard one. Cause I want to respect the older players too. I'm trying to think. Like, that's what I'm trying to think of. Like every facet of basketball. Oh, Dr. J.
So no Tim Duncan.
Nah. He makes the top 20, but he not. Nah.
So when we talk about handles,
Tim
Those are the
Duncan-
foundation.
every
Because look,
guard
once
should
again, I mean, I
have
can tell
the
you
1,
exactly
2,
what.
3
Like Dr. J
between the
carried an
legs,
entire
the
league,
crossover
bro.
behind the back. In the box,
Carried the entire
those are
league.
what we
When you
call
go
handles.
back and you look at
Now,
Tim
when you can put
Duncan's
creativity
career accomplishments
Bro,
and statistics,
he's the
With
reason why the
your
Lakers
ball
don't got
handling.
me. Shaq and Kobe don't got me championships as they do.
And that's fine and dandy.
They
I'm
sit
just
out
saying.
that. He won 5
Now
of them
you
things,
playing
bro. I can't
jazz
sit
with the
there.
That's fine.
basketball, You playing music with the basketball.
That's fine, but he wasn't MVP
You
for
want
all
to
those.
impress me? You got to put some creativity and some
And they never
imagination with
defended
it.
the championship.
You got to sing me some Earth, Wind, and
Yeah,
Fire.
they did,
No,
with
they
the
didn't. They never
basketball.
went back to back.
So that's why you don't got him.
No, I'm just saying when you
Will
talk.
went
See,
back
but
to
that's to my point though. He has more championships than some of the people I name, but I can go statistically. Some people are better. Impact, which is why I give Dr. J the nod because Dude was a problem. Dude
So-
carried the NBA
So
against the NBA.
Dr. J and Will never went back to back.
I just said it was more than just championships.
So
If you
so
talk
for
just strictly
Tim Duncan,
championships, Tim Duncan is going to beat them. I said Dr. J has more of an impact on the game than Tim Duncan did. He carried an entire league. He made the ABA what it was. They went head to head with the NBA to the point the NBA was like, all right, look, we'll buy y'all out.
you can literally say that Tim Duncan is what the prototypical power forward / center is today. A big man.
And honestly,
that is
I think what's name was better. He has absolutely no championships.
who?
Not Kareem. Utah Jazz.
Karl Malone?
Yes.
Better than Tim Duncan?
Yes.
I can't
film.
say
He could
that.
score better, but I don't know if his
was-
defense is better.
Yeah. Karl
know.
Malone.
I would say Tim Duncan was probably better defensively, but overall,
That's
I
what
would say
Karl
Malone
Malone was a better offensive player at how he attacked the basket. Because Tim Duncan, of course, he wasn't going to attack the basket like that. But Tim Duncan's going to kill you every other which way. His passing,
what's name was a great passer, bro.
Who?
Karl Malone.
Yeah, I think Tim Duncan was a better passer than Karl Malone.
About a smidget.
No.
I think Tim Duncan was a better passer.
I ain't gonna agree with that one. I'll give you the defense, but that's it.
Karl Malone is another guy, though. Honestly,
he could take you outside and inside.
Karl Malone is another guy, though. Like, again, we're talking big man. He's another guy, seriously.
That does
He
not get enough
doesn't
respect.
and I think it's because he didn't get a ring.
But that's some bullshit,
because
though.
Michael Jordan fans turn you against him too.
Yep.
So
Like championships should only split hairs when you're like you talking about like a Magic Johnson or Michael Jordan, like when you're trying to find the key differences.
I mean, in all honesty, it shouldn't split hairs at all because you could literally go and say, okay, well, like how you just said, that's if you were comparing Jordan and Michael Jordan and Magic Johnson. Well, if Magic had the better team at the time in which they played each other, well, Michael had the better team at the time in which they played. Well,
not
technically
really.
they didn't. Yeah,
They
I
were
mean,
favorite.
the teams was.
they weren't even favored that finals.
That was an Asian Lakers team.
There was no, it was
They
no,
was in the finals,
it was no
bro. I don't hear
Kareem.
that shit, 'cause
that was
when Worthy hurt. It was no Kareem when the Worthy was hurt.
Kareem, they had
Vlade Divac was the center.
I don't know if he was hurt or he retired.
Kareem
Kareem
had
was
retired by then.
I think he retired.
Yeah,
So
'cause I think Kareem had retired the year before.
Yeah.
they ain't get the.
But on their agent, like he was like a year older than Michael Jordan.
Who?
Like Magic, he's like a year or two older than Michael Jordan. That's the same shit they said about the Pistons. And if you're gonna say that, then I don't want to hear shit about the Miami Heat beating the Spurs then, because them motherfuckers was old too.
Who?
Well, what are you saying about the Pistons?
No, I'm just saying when we say people are aging, like your ass was in the finals.
But the Spurs was kept being old, kept going to finals after finals. Like that's what we say. Like they was a different type of old. Like they just.
I'm just
kept
saying if we're
being-
gonna use age, then we got to be consistent with it.
But they went
And they went to
beat
back-to-back finals. They
Magic
keep
didn't
going
go to no
finals
more
to
finals after that. I mean,
Who?
if I'm talking about, we know he retired, but that was the last one he went to. The Spurs went to the finals in every decade almost, except for maybe this one. They went to the finals every decade, at least 2 trips. So I mean,
I think they did go in the 2010s.
they did.
Yeah,
they played.
20
Yeah, they
the
went
2011,
every-
so
yeah,
2012,
yeah,
2013.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
went,
so,
they went
yeah.
to everyone.
Yeah,
No, they
so-
went to 2013, 2014. They played the Heat both years.
Yeah.
I thought it was 2012, 2013.
Now 2012 they played OKC.
Oh yeah, you're right.
My list, man. I got Kareem 1. I got Bron 2. I got Kobe and Mike tied for 3rd, bro.
You got Brown over Michael Jordan.
But
Just like you got,
I knew that.
just like
Right,
you
I
got
knew.
Will over Tim Duncan. But who else I got? I got 4. I got Magic.
But
I
why
got
though?
Bird to me
Yeah.
because I felt like
because they're the same player.
who Kobe and Mike.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying like what made you finally put LeBron over?
Because here's my thing. You had mentioned it.
I was gonna say that he just.
Yeah, Jumpman Bostic like.
I mean, we had this conversation before. I mean, we have our differences, but he respect. I'm not saying like nobody crazy over Mike, but I mean, you got to think. You said he got the scoring over Mike, but LeBron still got scoring with the scorers, and that's not even his best attribute. It's his passing. So if I got, yes, he played more games, but he also took less shots. So that balanced him and Mike when they pass each other. So when you with the scorers and you not a scorer, and you top 10 in assists and scoring, like to me, and he's done more with less at times. So that's why I have it. You know, plus he came in the league with a crazy amount of hype and lived up to it.
No, he did live up to the hype.
So like,
in my opinion, he exceeded the hype.
so like,
But I would say that, I mean, done more with less though. So that's my only problem with the LeBron thing, because we'll sit there and say players are
that
I'm
017
sorry,
should
yeah.
not have been in the finals.
Yeah.
That 017 should
Well,
not
I
have
was
been in
gonna
the
say
finals.
that and I mean even that last Cleveland team,
2018 finals
that he
should
took
not
to
have
the
been
my
in
whole
the
thing
finals.
is like, okay.
And there's got to be times where the Toronto Raptors.
Who should have been in the finals in 07? Because what team in the East was like?
The Pistons.
The Pistons.
But they was aging.
No, they weren't.
No, they weren't.
The Pistons were not aging at that time.
Time out.
Chauncey Billups was still in his prime at that time.
Because that was the year before we got rid of him.
We got rid of him because he needed a new contract, and Joe Dumars wasn't going to sign him to a new
What's
deal.
the name? Ben Wallace was gone. Chris Webber, old ass with no knees, was there. Rasheed Wallace was.
Chris Webber had reignited his career for that short second he was in Detroit.
What you talking about? He had his lowest. That was like his worst year in his career.
He came off the
Philly
bench.
was in love. Philly was
Philly. I'll give you that. No, Philly.
But what it took.
Remember, that was the last time they even went to the conference finals.
Peep this though.
Yeah, because LeBron got rid of him. And then the very next year,
two teams went to the conference finals,
and then the very next year, Boston formed the Big Three.
You do know two teams.
The very next year,
you do
Boston.
know two teams go to the conference finals, right?
The very next year, after they got put out by LeBron, Boston forms the Big Three. What is Detroit supposed to do at that point?
I'm just saying, like they was on their way down.
They weren't aging.
That aging Piston team. Rasheed was still on there, but that aging Piston team, right?
What year was that? 07?
That was 07.
But still, look what LeBron had to do to get rid of the Pistons, though. Score 48, 25
impressive.
straight.
No, I'm saying that was impressive. I'm saying that was impressive.
And then actually the very next year after they got put out by Cleveland in the conference finals, they went to the conference finals the next year and got beat by Boston.
Oh yeah, they did.
So he did beat them. So
he did
that's kind of how I have it, bro.
That's one team.
Well, so I got him. So I got Kareem. I got Kareem because when you say greatest basketball player ever, he's won multiple state high school championships. But when you got to college, arguably the greatest college basketball player ever.
Like you talking about someone living up to the hype.
You know what I'm saying? That and then get to the NBA. One with Oscar.
He had going into college.
He was to me arguably the best college player ever. Then you go.
Ain't no arguably.
Yeah. So some people got their takes, but
people got Bill Walton up there because Bill Walton's college career is
not in anybody's top 10. He's in my top 20.
He's top 15.
Top 20.
Yeah, I'll say top.
Before Giannis, he was the last person to win MVP and Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah.
So Kareem,
Tim Duncan,
Bron, Mike, Kobe for third. I got Magic. I got Bird. I got Dr. J.
Go back to that comment. Tim Duncan played in Pop System, Karl Malone, and Stockton were the system. If Tim just did what he wanted to do, he would. I gotta agree with that. Systems matter too. And Pop, I mean, he made a lot of players look good. Because we go back to that. We go back to the finals. We go back to the finals when they played the Heat. That first year when the Heat won. Had the Spurs won, Danny Green would have got MVP for that finals because he was lighting them up.
But here's my thing, though.
Spurs didn't win a championship until Tim Duncan got there. Pop
I didn't say he.
coach.
Listen, you said it until he got there. We talking about the first championship.
Well, he got there his rookie year. They won.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's fine. I mean, not to mention he had a David Robinson with him. That doesn't hurt. But
Magic had. Come on, bro.
I'm not.
Hakeem embarrassed David Robinson in David Robinson's MVP year.
I'm just saying David Robinson was this. So we about to.
I'm not speaking ill on David Robinson.
I was gonna say David Robinson was a problem too.
He was, but it took him to have a great player as a rookie step in and be able to help him out.
I agree. I'm saying they both great players. I'm just saying he didn't do it by himself. That's all I'm saying.
No,
nobody did.
Nobody ever does it by themselves.
I'm just saying. I'm just pointing that out. Yeah. Put some respect on David Robinson's name. Now, you notice I said the 2017 championship. You go back to '99. Like I ain't anybody talking about '99. Of course,
you want to talk about the
Tim Duncan was.
But if you're gonna say that system thing, that's what another reason why I had LeBron. LeBron never had a Hall of Fame coach. All his coaches were first year head coach.
That because I kind of feel like he didn't want one.
Who?
I'm just saying you could have played with
Paul Silas.
Huh?
Let's go down the list. This is before
that was his coach the first 2 years.
This is my attitude about that shit. Because we talk about Michael Jordan have a Hall of Fame coach. Phil Jackson was not a Hall of Fame coach when he joined the Bulls. Matter of fact, he didn't coach an NBA team until he got to the Bulls.
But Mike also left and came back to Phil. He didn't have to come back to Phil.
He turned into an NBA coach. He turned into a Hall of Fame coach. People had to develop.
Okay, here's my thing, right? You're absolutely right. He developed. Minus LeBron, have any of those coaches turned to Hall of Fame coaches?
Have any of them turned to Hall of Fame coaches?
Paul Silas, Mike Brown, Eric Spoelstra.
Paul Silas is a Hall of Fame coach, isn't he?
No, he's not.
I swear to God, he's in the Hall of Fame.
David Blatt.
Spoelstra will be in the Hall of Fame.
Spoelstra will be in the Hall of Fame. But that was the only. All of those.
See what happens when you. So not. That's my thing too, though, because you got to have an organization that gives the coach a chance to actually grow.
And what organization did he play for? The Cavs. Which
the Cavs
terribly ran.
Wait a minute. Time out. What's the name? Now we're gonna give credit to players. We got to give credit to coaches too, to some degree. Okay. Now they had the top record in the East, right? 2 years in a row before LeBron left. He don't get no credit for that. As a matter of fact, he was coach of the year and they got rid of his ass.
Oh, Mike Brown?
Yeah.
Mike Brown also was with the Lakers and Kobe, right? And didn't have the record he had with LeBron in them. So
you got two different players. You got two different skill sets. You can't take the same coaching scheme from one.
But they
team
also
together.
both in our top 5.
And they only had, how many years he had there?
Bro, let me see this.
One?
No. Who? He had a year and a half. They kicked him out the year
A year and a half. How you gonna get somebody a year and a half and be like?
If he was that good, they would have kept him.
Nobody's
Doing
that
a
good.
great
Phil
job
Jackson
with the
lost with the
Nigerian
Lakers.
team right now.
So who?
Mike Brown's coach of the Nigerian team right now, and they beat Team USA's ass.
I'm just saying, Phil Jackson lost with Kobe. Phil Jackson lost with Kobe and the Lakers. What's the name? Rudy Tomjanovich. He won 2 championships with the Rockets. Didn't do shit with the Lakers.
Well, all of them won. Here's my thing, though. All of them have any of them went to the finals without LeBron. It was up for Eric Spoelstra. And he just did that last year.
I'm saying you got to give people opportunities. You can't just be
But
like.
here's my thing. But he played with Brown for 4 years?
Yeah. LeBron was the Miami.
He played with
When
Brown
Brown left, Tyronn Lue had a year and a half, and they kicked him. Why? Because he was the only person that left that team.
Wait. Time out. This is what I love about LeBron fans, right? So LeBron gets to make up his own team, right? He get all these pieces, and then he dips because the pieces are basic. The team is custom made for him. Imagine if I build a wheel and I take out the hub, and I'm like depending on the spokes to somehow have the same type of structure to it. You take out the sun, of course the other planets are going to run them up.
But Michael Jordan left, and they still was able to be
okay. So time out. They had the same exact players. They had the same exact coach.
When Brown left, he was the only player that left.
No, the first time he left the Cavs, they got rid of a whole bunch of players plus their coach. The Heat, Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh got hurt.
2018 LeBron
And then-
class, the 2018 LeBron class, he was the only person.
That's one example. Now, if we're going to use the Bulls, let's talk about the second year when they was barely making the playoffs, and it took Michael Jordan to come back for them to make the playoffs.
Bro, they was one call away from the Eastern Conference Finals, wasn't they?
That's the first year. The second year, they
But
weren't
ain't
even
no
make the
first
playoffs.
year with the Cavs. Once LeBron and Kobe
I'm
leave,
just
you're
saying,
not
you got
making the playoffs.
But you got the same coach, the same players. They never had that. They had different coaches, different players. You had 1 year. One year that you could point to.
Bro, who was that? Who else? No, because when they left Miami, Bosh and Wade was still there.
They got hurt that year.
No, they
Yes,
played, bro.
Chris
That's
Bosh
not Brown
left.
for that they played.
Wade got hurt.
Wade was hurt when he was playing.
Wade
and
was
they
hurt
still
that
winning.
year. He actually missed games, which is funny because when LeBron missed
Wade was
16
always
games.
hurt.
Wait a minute. LeBron
Wade-
missed 16 games. They don't make the playoffs while LeBron's hurt. Dwayne Wade missed half the season, and it's supposed to be like no factor. Chris Bosh also left that season with the heart thing.
No, that was a year after.
That was that same
That
year.
was
I looked it up.
2018,
Look it
bro.
up. Would you please look it up?
They was that same year.
It was
But
that
they
same
but
year,
there's
bro.
But players have not. When I say that, you go to 10 finals with different organizations. What you love to say, there's a common denominator.
I agree with you.
So that's what I'm saying.
But you gotta win those. You don't
But
get
we
just,
win in the
listen,
East
you don't-
and the
listen,
West,
you don't
bro.
get-
Here's my thing.
You don't get credit for showing up to the SAT.
You don't want
gotta
Bron to
actually
get
pass it,
credit
bro.
for the team putting together. But
So,
when the finals
what-
losses
what-
come, nobody say that Eric Spoelstra is 2-2 in the finals. Nobody say Mike Brown is
Who doesn't
0-1
say
in the
that?
finals.
Wait a minute.
No, I'm talking about people in
Hold
general.
up,
No,
hold up, because I got one. I got this question.
What's that?
What you just said. You don't get credit for showing up and not winning, right?
If we talking about a Michael Jordan versus LeBron, you're not going to use. Well, we got to the finals.
So
you got to
what-
win that shit.
So, okay, my question was going to be Will Chamberlain until he got with a good
That's the
enough
knock
squad.
against Will Chamberlain.
I just want to make sure you was going to stay
I know that's
consistent
the knock
with it.
against Will Chamberlain. But I'm saying, when we talk about, my man asked what was the criteria for growth. I said there's multiple things.
Right.
Impact is a big thing. Stats, the way you play the game, accolades, your peers, how they see you, and all that other shit. There's multiple things.
Yeah,
And so
Mike's teammates hated him.
Mike telling who?
teammates.
Yeah, Jordan's teammates all hated him.
I said,
Say your peers.
No, I'm saying that's the other peers, like peers on other teams and shit.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about like his actual teammates. Like, what did he do with them?
I mean, if you could take your team, a team that hates you to 6 championships, I mean, that says a lot, doesn't it?
Well, that's why I give LeBron credit for taking, like I said, some of those Cavs teams. He made Mo Williams an all-star. Like, I mean, that's an accolade in itself for me. Like,
I'm just saying.
seriously.
Michael Jordan has the most accolades in like NBA history.
Who?
Michael Jordan.
With the scoring titles and
If you add up everything, every accolade, he has the most. PER, he has the highest of any NBA player in history.
I thought Giannis took that 2 years ago.
No. They just did something on ESPN like a week ago.
They change it every week, so
I know they
that's
do.
all. I mean, then again,
And it
who
is
knows?
ESPN.
Maybe
We know how
that's
they
ESPN.
like.
the Fox News of sports.
So that's why Giannis won it over Bron last year because his PR was higher. But But let me go. So I got Kareem, Mike, Bron, and Kobe for third. I got Magic, Bird. I got Wilt. I got Shaq. I got Tim Duncan. I got Isaiah. Who I got for number 10?
I really should put Isaiah on the list. I really should put Isaiah on the list.
Zeke was a problem.
You gave everybody problems.
Because he was offensive and defensive. And I think defensive don't get enough credit no more.
Who else for number 10?
And he was a leader.
Right.
For that
number
team.
10.
And when we talk about the championship thing, like Magic went 9 times, yo. Like people forget about that. 9.
Number 10 hard. I gotta say, if I'm just pulling some off the top, I gotta go with. I put Dr. J.
Yeah, I mean, listen, that's the thing that bothers me too. Because like when I think about these old players, and once again, this is why I say the NBA does a horrible job. Because you know, you watch ESPN, or even if you watch NBA TV, you like if you a kid growing up now, it's like the '90s. You might hear about Magic Johnson and shit, but it's basically the '90s on forward. And you don't hear about the players in the 60s, 70s, and the 80s. Matter of fact, the only reason players are getting paid the way they're getting paid now is because somebody in the 60s, Oscar Robertson, fought for a union, which is why he probably gets buried now. But you don't hear about Walt Frazier in Game 7 with the Knicks dropping like 30, going absolutely berserk to win that finals.
But I think it's also your due diligence to
MJ 1, 2. Who's Cap?
We got
Who's Cap?
3 Russ, 4 Magic, 5
who's
Bird,
Cap,
Kobe,
though?
LeBron.
Yeah, I don't know who Cap is. That's why I would assume. No, is that supposed to be Kareem?
But this is why I got Kareem as number 1, though. I mean, to Gru's thing, like, I mean, I ain't never seen a player. I mean, dude
And was socially active.
Socially active, the most dominant. I mean, Shaq was the most dominant, but like unstoppable though. That's got her.
Well, that's why I mean,
Kareem shake, dream shake.
Oh, Kareem's footwork was stupid too.
I feel like anytime
he played 20 years and like like his
and longevity
in a physical league
in a physical league, and dude was still averaging like 20 and 10.
Yeah, so
like,
that's why I got put. That's why I put it like that, man. But
I mean, I can't. For me personally, I can't put him as number 1. One, because I didn't see him play. So for me, like, you know, like I even though I didn't get a chance to see Michael's full career,
right?
You know, I'm not even gonna say I got a chance to see the years that matter, but
that's why I said it's the NBA's fault.
Yeah, well, that's what I was gonna say. Like, that's what I used to use ESPN Classic and NBA TV for.
Right.
I go back and watch those games.
But also, you gotta do it as just like the same thing we do with rap. We gotta do with sport. So, like, probably had to be like 4 months ago. Me and my son was chilling. We watched Allen Iverson highlights. We watched Grant Hill highlights. We watched Penny Hardaway and Tracy
Exactly.
So he can be introduced to that because he was like, wow, he did that like that. So you know what I'm saying? Like, wow, that was cool. So you have to also introduce them. The same thing what I do with his sneakers, trying to create that nostalgia.
No, I agree.
So he can create that moment with him as well. So,
actually, and you just said Allen Iverson is going to be a guy that 10 years from now, we're going to be saying the same thing. Like, that's a guy that doesn't get the respect.
But you know what I think it is?
Either,
I feel like when it comes to players who are retired and are receiving love, I think there's going to be a point in time where he might eclipse Mike because he shows so much love to the young people and while they give it back to him. Mike show love to people who are on Team Jordan or who's on the Hornets.
You hear a lot of stories where he gave
Kareem. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah,
okay, you hear a lot of stories about Michael Jordan, like even LeBron, like he like showed him love. Iverson, like that, he shouted him out in his Hall of Fame speech. You know, like even with Kobe, they had that. You know, at
but
first
those are all people
annoying.
he has relationships with. Like, I don't have to have a relationship with you to honor your greatness or to put you. You know what I'm saying?
But I feel like he did that. Like, I don't think Michael Jordan. I think on the court, I think Michael Jordan had that reputation. I think off the court, I think a lot of people. You know, obviously, you want to be Michael Jordan, you want to be around him and shit. But I think he had because even if you look at when he played, right? Like he was still hanging out with a lot of NBA players. He was hanging out with Charles Barkley and Patrick Ewing. Like he just
all the guys he beat.
No, I'm saying, but my point is
his age group.
My point is, you would think if he's the way that people describe him on the court and he's constantly beating you. You know what I'm saying? That ain't necessarily the best foundation to build a friendship. He ain't never had to
play Bron or some of these other guys to show. Like, AI be at the game. People go up to the games and make their way to show love to AI. Even AI and all those guys. When Mike sits on the bench, nobody makes up because he's not approachable like that.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
Two different. I mean, it's
But
Michael Jordan.
their
Like, some
personalities
people-
are different, but
no.
also why you get more
But
love.
some people are just on another tier to where it's like it's hard to like if Michael Jordan
I
like
ain't gonna
somebody
say
Prince
AI.
showed up like Prince showed up to a Warriors game, right? Imagine if Michael Jackson, rest in peace. I mean, they both did. Rest in peace, both of them. If Michael Jackson showed up to a game, like it's gonna be pandemonium because it's Michael Jackson. You know what I'm saying? Some
But if
people.
you talk about impact, AI impact on the
definitely
game,
impact.
end game
Oh,
is
man.
ridiculous.
That's what I say.
It's like,
Because people, like I said, people. If you look back at his statistics, like just his career numbers.
he may have arguably one of the best NBA seasons at 2001.
Oh, his MVP year.
Yeah,
but when they
Oh,
changed,
yeah.
this is when I like certain people they had
That's
to
another
change
guy.
the
Look,
rules for
that
it.
team should not have made the finals.
No.
Not the one that should not make the money.
Man,
So,
Shout out to Larry Brown
Yeah.
for coaching that team. In all
he's another
honesty,
coach that don't get enough respect.
yeah, no, I've heard,
and
totally.
he's won at every level.
Yeah.
Yes.
But no,
Every level.
Like to your point, like as far as the respect thing, like there's certain players that they had to change the rules for. Shaq, Iverson, even Dr. J, because basketball. I mean, dunking was outlawed,
Right.
But he was so good, it was like, fuck that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's putting butts in the seats. Let's bring that shit back. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's where I stand on it or whatever. It's like when you talk about impact or like they changed the way the game is played. That's why I thought about Dirk because Dirk made it fashionable for a stretch for it.
I wore my spirit. I ain't gonna say that. I would say.
Hold up.
I would
I say
say
he made it fashionable. I didn't say he was the first one. I say he made it fashionable.
Larry?
That should
Like for instance,
Larry?
I'll give you the perfect example. Michael Jordan didn't create the moonwalk, but when you think of moonwalk, what do you think of? Right. That's what I mean.
But
when I say
what I'm
fashionable.
saying though is like Larry played both forward positions though.
Yeah, but you mostly think of him as like the small forward though. You
Well, that's
mostly think of, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, because I had Kevin McHale. I mean, I get what you're
Yeah.
saying, but
That's why I say fashionable. I didn't say he created it or he started it. I said
I
he made
mean,
it
what
fashionable.
where people
And I said KG. Like him and KG kind of.
it's another guy that
He
I love
got
KG,
a
brother.
love, but I feel like
he won
with-
in a couple years. He gonna be forgotten.
I would say
Oh, yeah, probably.
Dirk championship run was where he get when he had to go through. What was that first round? Was it Spurs or Portland?
I think
He
it was
went through like
Portland.
every
Portland,
great.
yeah.
It was
Then when-
Portland. I think they went to a game. I think it went to
Was it
game
Portland?
7.
Yeah, then he swept Kobe fresh off a chip and them Lakers, and then
And then the
beat-
Spurs.
No, he beat OKC. For the
OKC.
West
OKC,
Yeah.
yeah.
That year, the next year they went to the finals. OKC,
Yep.
and then he beat. The
I could have
Heat,
sworn
so-
they played the Spurs that run.
I feel like it was Portland because I remember there was a game like Dirk hit a game winner. I feel like in that finals run that they had against
Okay.
Portland.
And
Because I remember that Portland team was stacked too because it had Brandon Roy and it had LaMarcus Aldridge.
Yeah.
Like it was a really stacked team. So
Yeah, so I mean, that's what I mean. They got the playoff game winners. I think Brian had people go unrealized. I was like, yo, the dude got like 5. Mike got 3. Kobe got 2. No, Kobe got 1. So I'm like, it's it's your preference at the end of the day. It don't bother me as much as it do. But we all got a basis when you got who your list. Like, okay, I got a case for Brian, obviously for Jordan. We all agree on the cream. So that's kind of how I look at it. It's just your player gonna do something that my player did something, your player ain't do. Mike did something,
Yeah,
Brian
you
ain't
always
do.
gonna find no
So
difference.
it's like it's just that. But I really pissed that Brown should have had a different. Because when I looked at it, I just thought about it the other day. 2012, you win MVP, right?
Mm-hmm.
You go to the finals, win Finals MVP. You go to the Olympics, win gold. Come back and do another MVP and another Finals MVP run. To that 2012 to 2013 season. So like that right there was dope. But I pissed that
I mean, Jordan
Marcus
did it too.
Gasol got what you say? What'd you say?
I said Jordan did it too, but okay.
Yeah, but you when I say accolade like those type of things, like
Yeah.
that's tough. But plus Brown was getting MVP hate because Marc Gasol should not. How you
Every
went
great player gets that though.
but defensive player of the year and the dude you lost it to didn't even make a all defensive team.
Listen, like I
No,
said, I mean, you brought
that-
up Steve, you brought up Steve
that-
Nash. We can go through a
Yeah,
list of
but
robberies.
that was definitely a robbery though that year. That was one of those years
How
where it was
Steph
like
win unanimous MVP before Shaq, Brian,
We
AI,
agree.
and Mike? Like
We agree.
so.
We
like,
agree.
But yeah, that defensive player.
I
of the
mean,
year,
the NBA is known for robbing, like for robbing people. Like Kobe should have more than one MVP.
oh, agree.
Like dude was dropping 60
I
points
mean,
a game.
like you said, in all honesty, Steve Nash, great player, should not have won either of his MVPs.
No,
Just saying, you shouldn't have.
Dirk stole one.
Maybe
Didn't he?
one.
Didn't Dirk won one?
Yeah, Dirk won the year they got put out in the first round by the Warriors. Who
No, he
should
should
have
have got. No, see, that's the problem with that. That
What year was that? Oh,
Because they was balling that year.
They
and
were
that's
balling,
what made it an upset.
but I feel like it was somebody else that was balling that should have gotten
Bro,
MVP
Kobe
that year.
was still in the
I think it was Kobe that year.
Kobe
No,
was still
because Dirk was killing it. Now,
Was he?
what people do in the playoffs had nothing to do with the MVP.
Well, no, I mean that's true, but I think it was that year in particular. I remember there was a lot said that maybe the MVP should be given at the actual end of the entire
'cause
season.
I think
that
you
was
should keep it.
2007 year, and Bron was going crazy. Cole was going crazy.
Dude had they had the number one team in the West. That's back when the West was like deep. Like number 8 seed was like 50 wins.
But
That Golden State team should not have. That Golden State team, like honestly,
That's what made it such an upset.
it wasn't really a good team. Like,
Nobody saw that coming. Nobody went in like, oh, that's gonna be a
bro,
good series.
that year he got MVP. He only averaged 23 points.
But their team was like killing it.
But then
and they was going
you
the
should
best player,
complain
the best
about
team.
Steve Nash MVP because he had a number one record in the West.
Yeah, that's true.
So I mean, if you
That's
go
true.
okay
I was
Dirk, you
gonna
got to
say,
okay
like,
Trees.
because I feel like that was a year that Kobe should have got MVP.
Well, there's a whole bunch of years Kobe should have got MVP.
Kobe,
a couple years Shaq should have got MVP.
It was Cole could have got some, but
Shaq should
Bron,
have got
but Bron
MVPs
was
from
coming
2000 to 2004, bro.
Cole should have got some more, but Bron was coming and T-Mac wasn't going nowhere for a minute. So in Houston, he was balling. So I mean, it was tough. It was nasty during
That's
that
another guy that's not gonna get just as time goes
So the
on.
T-Mac thing,
just because
I want to put T-Mac in that Kobe conversation, but he's not. He's not. I'm sorry.
But he ain't had.
Because
But
when it came to crunch time, you could.
T-Mac balled.
When it came to crunch time,
D Rose is another guy that he's
if he
gonna
didn't
be
get
forgotten.
hurt, if he didn't get hurt,
He's
he would have
gonna
been
be
a problem.
forgotten. Russell Westbrook before Russell Westbrook.
Yeah.
Who?
D Rose.
T-Mac, I'm just saying, T-Mac made the playoffs and then didn't he get knocked out like the first round, like every single time?
Until he got with the Spurs.
No, I thought Houston he didn't lose in the first round, did he?
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah. That's why
Yeah,
I was
'cause
like, I can't put you in that Kobe
They lost to
conversation.
Dallas one year. After he had that nasty ass dunk on Sean Bradley.
They lost to Dallas that year.
I mean, I seen, that dunk on Sean Bradley. That was another one, right there.
You know the best part about that dunk?
When the home crowd, when you on the road and the home crowd go, ooh.
No, the best part,
You know what
the
I'm saying?
very best part about that dunk was the fact that afterwards Sean Bradley took his mouthpiece out and just threw it. Because
Yeah.
even he was pissed off he got dunked on like that.
I told you not to draft me. I'm just tall. I can't play.
I mean, T-Mac did have, what was that, 13 points in
Oh, let's get through the rest of these shoes real
like
quick.
a minute?
We kind of did like we went back and forth. Because I really want to go off of some of these shoes real quick. You got the Bad Bunny Special Edition Adidas ZX 8000 ice cream.
I mean, at least it's got like the drippage.
My
This
daughter
is
would love
Look
it.
like melted ice
My daughter-
cream.
It's actually not bad
I was
because
gonna
you
say.
really did what you understood the assignment.
Exactly.
That's it.
You
Exactly.
understood the assignment.
Hey, look,
Hey, shout out to Steve Nash.
you clearly get an A for effort on that because you did what you were supposed to.
Because as soon as I hear ice cream and then I see the shoe, instant. It's like, and to his point, he got the assignment. He took the shoe and made it all drippy and shit. And like I said, this ain't for me, but like my daughter, she would love these.
I went with these is not bad. I would rock. I'm an ice cream advocate, but I was like these.
Shout out to Cold Stone. But
I like the fact that it's a
that's
ZX
what, you
too.
know what's funny? The guru said that because I told him this before. Whenever we go out of town, I know we all have our isms. Like we all have the things we want to stop and get. And one of the things was Guru's thing was gelato. Like what is I don't know what the difference is between that and ice cream.
gelato.
It's lighter, isn't it?
A little bit healthier, but ice cream. We only
Cause
said
one of
gelato because we was at Disney Springs. But
Oh, is that what it was?
yeah, that was Disney. They ain't had no ice.
Because I was
They
gonna say
had
that's one of
gelato.
my favorite moments. We was walking around trying to find the gelato
Oh,
spot.
sorry, ice cream spot. But yeah, that's what it was.
But no,
But yeah, that's dope. I would probably get this. And what they doing is
I ain't mad at
Z-Flux, which is like it's kind of like an on the fence model
Yeah.
with these collaborations with the Sean Weatherspoon. And
It's
this
bringing
one,
attention to it.
They're bringing it,
Yeah.
trying to reel people in.
I was gonna say this is perfectly executed for the theme they were going for. This is dope as hell. I like it. I would buy these for my daughter. Like I couldn't get away with that. I don't know if I can.
Well, you wore them Dirty Sprite 2s, Converses.
Them who?
You could get
You
away
notice
with
we still never actually seen him wear them.
Yeah,
He
them-
claimed he wore them.
them-
Them purple ass Converses.
Yeah, I've been wearing them. I brought them in here. I have them, but I've been
Why
wearing
don't you wear them?
So you would wear those? You wear those before you wear those?
First of all, I already explained I didn't buy those. They were sent to me.
But would you wear those? Would you wear those before you wear those?
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't know.
Exactly.
I don't know.
This is why you.
I don't know. But the whole point is what I buy these, and I didn't buy those because I wouldn't have. And I even said they grew on me after I got them. These, if they sent them to me, I would probably do the same thing. They'd probably be on the shelf.
You wouldn't wear them.
Man, I don't know if I can pull it off.
I'm looking like that's dope. They actually had the material dripping to the point where
that's what I'm
feeling it. Like
That's
you
what I'm saying.
feeling it dripping.
I'm just saying I'm not saying it's a bad shoe. I said these are dope. I'll buy this for my daughter. I don't know if I can pull these off.
If you can wear Fresh Prince fries, bro, you can wear these.
I don't know about that.
Where your killer cam at, Mr. Pink? You should be able to wear it, no problem.
It's a little bit of pink in those. It ain't like it's all pink. That's all pink, bro.
That's not all pink.
that's
You
not
got a
all.
little
The majority
blue,
of okay,
orange.
it's
45%.
85% of it is pink, bro.
You don't like strawberry ice cream?
No, actually, I don't.
You know, like strawberry ice cream?
Nah.
What's your favorite ice cream?
Man, if I had to pick one, just like probably like the mint chocolate chip.
Mint chocolate chip?
Yeah.
I can't have my ice cream tasting like Listerine. I'm sorry. Sorry, I can't. It's not the purpose
One
of the
that
ice
does
cream.
taste like Listerine.
It does taste
There's a
like
difference.
Listerines.
There's a difference.
It opens your nostrils up. Like, that's like halls
doesn't
and
do
ice
all this-
cream.
motherfucker,
It
that-
does.
that's
I
not
had
even
this
the
ice
mint.
cream.
That's the
I don't know what's that.
that's the alcohol in it.
Nah, that's
you eat-
exactly. Ice shouldn't be in alcohol.
You
I mean,
eating some strong mint
No,
chocolate chip
it's,
ice cream?
I had some of the what
You got
mint
that
chocolate
Vicks ice
chip.
cream.
I
That's
haven't
you.
had mint chocolate chips since the like early 2000s when they was really making it minty. They probably water it down now, but it was too minty. I couldn't taste it. So like the Olive Garden
Maybe you
mints.
got a bad batch, bro.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, the Andes.
Yeah, they taste like the Olive Garden mints. That's what like after 2000s. I was done with mint chocolate chip ice cream. Like,
But no, I'm actually a Coast. Like I usually go to Cold Stone. I usually my go-to is either probably the birthday cake or whenever they got something special going on. I try that, whatever. But,
Gotcha.
this next shoe, this one is getting on my nerves. The Drake Special Edition Nike Air Force One Low Certified Lover
Oh,
Boy.
God.
The problem with the
listen.
shoe is coming off the collaborations he have had with them. Like to do an all white Air
There's
Force
a
One.
downward trajectory when it comes to his collabs, bro.
But I ain't gonna. I like the Ace. I ain't no problem with the Ace. But my thing
No,
is
that's
the
cool.
all white Air Force One. Like I bought the apparel right because I
Yeah.
had the shirt and the socks. So the socks had the heart on it, whatever, and then the shirt had the graphics.
Yeah.
It was black and glow with the roses. For you to have that apparel, it was Nike apparel.
Yeah.
And then for this to be the shoe that you're gonna release to it,
No, because even this other collab, the with the snake skin and shit.
the Stingray joints. Yeah, I had no.
But
I
those
like
are-
them.
That shoe, that is not a good silhouette to have all snake skin on, bro. I'm sorry.
The tens.
No, the ones that he's supposed to be coming out, he's been teasing like all year.
I ain't seen no snake skin.
Yeah,
Only thing
yeah,
snake skin was 11s.
what is it?
What that all white,
He had an all white pair and a all snake skin pair.
the Terra, and then
Terra something,
Yeah, Terra.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, I
I
didn't see. I didn't see the
one.
terrors.
Yeah, yeah, like all snake
I've
skin.
seen
I'm
the
like,
all
dog,
white one because that just.
Neither one of them did it for me.
I
This,
still like the OVO 12s are one of my favorite.
this
12s.
what pisses me off about collaboration. Now, it's funny that this comes right after the ice cream one we saw where they had a theme and they executed on that theme. My man's just giving you an all white Air Force One.
Like it's always been done. Like I ain't gonna trip because I bought the Rockefeller one. It was just like that with a Rockefeller logo, and the John Elliott one is just like that, but they just carve out the
Duh.
swoosh. So I mean, yeah, you do it, but coming from your history of that, like your collaborations.
That's why I didn't like the Rockefeller one. That's why I didn't like the other
The
one.
Rockefeller was classic.
I was gonna say, but what make the Rockefeller one different though is
because they
is-
wore it. They was
Well,
like it was iconic.
But it was that, and it wasn't like it didn't come after a collab. Like it didn't come after like multiple collabs of Drake. Like,
Well, that's why I
them-
say he's on a downward trajectory because the 8s were cool, the 12s, the Stingray and all that other shit, the 12s and the 10s he came out with. Okay, cool, whatever. But like ever since then, it's just been like, all right, my guy, like, okay, we get it. Drake and Nike, that's the selling point. The shoe is irrelevant. This, they got the little hearts instead of the stars on the toe, on the outsole. On the midsole, it says something cute, something light skinned people would say. I don't
But
know.
you've been a lover boy yourself, though.
People love me. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
That's the definition of a freaking shoe, dog.
I wouldn't come out with that shoe though. Like, you know what I'm saying?
You see, I had no words.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, what trying to tell you? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, people love me. People love me. Man. I
Oh,
don't know
my
what to tell you,
God.
man.
Okay.
Women
All right.
love me. Like, I'm
Okay.
sorry. Like,
All right.
I can't apologize for that.
All right.
I mean, you
All right, Chris Wallace.
You good at copping all white. You good at copping all white bricks. So I'm not sure why this is not off your radar. You know what I'm saying?
I don't even know what that means, but okay.
You do.
No,
you
no.
do. Cut
Nope.
them inner tubes open.
This
Whoa.
next one, whoa, there we go.
Whoa.
This is the Adidas
That's the
ZX 8000
Halloween?
Halloween. This comes out in October.
It did his job.
No, it didn't.
Scared you.
In that sense, then yes.
Yes.
Like this is when
I mean, that's just when you try too hard.
this is doing
Nah,
too much.
he just didn't incorporate design into the upper.
Nah,
You just
bro,
sewed on
like,
patches.
Gino got it right.
You just tried entirely
you tried
too hard.
You ain't,
It looked like honeycomb pieces. It do look like honeycomb pieces.
No, it looked like those Cheeto Puffs.
Ugh.
You ate those, didn't you?
No, I hate Cheetos actually.
You ate Cheetos?
Yeah, I don't like Cheetos.
Oh, I haven't touched Cheetos in a hot minute.
But this shoe is I don't know who that's for. It ain't for me though. Promise you that. What's the next one? This one's gonna be this one I've been waiting to get to. So before we get into because I already know what Guru's gonna say, and Gino's probably gonna say the same thing, and I honestly feel the same way myself. Before we get into that, let's get over the whole high cut bitching that I see on social media. Listen, they're going closer to the OG, right? For those of y'all that don't know, the 90s, 95, 96 cut of the Air Jordan 11 had a high cut. Sorry to break the news to you. The shoes you bought in 2010 on forward are not OGs. That's back when Jordan Brand was going cheap and they was trying to cut cost of material, and they lowered the trim of the patent leather to cut cost of the material. And it wasn't even real patent leather. That was the funny part. But anyway, they were trying to cut costs. That's why you got such shitty quality on the shoes in that era. So now they're reverting back and giving us higher cut patent leather, and I see a whole bunch of people complaining about it because they got used to the breadcrumbs Jordan Brand they be giving them.
But
So
I will say that the cool, because Mike wore these in the game, couple games with the Wizards.
Yeah.
The 2000 cut, you could have gave us that cut.
I ain't mad at the cut. I'm mad at the shade of gray. I feel like it's too dark, if I remember correctly.
I think maybe it was throwing it off because you have so much more patent leather now.
No, it ain't that. It's the shade of gray. It's strictly the shade of gray. Now, I am glad because there's a lot of people that thought we was getting the mesh that was it Jason Tatum had teased in the picture. I'm glad that they gave us the OG material. This was a nubuck. I want to say suede.
It's like a synthetic
Thank you, Jordan
nubuck.
Brand, for giving us that. Like, thank you. I didn't want a mesh one. We
We're
get
not
enough mesh
complaining about it,
on.
but we still gonna cop.
We got
it.
enough
want
mesh
cool
11s
grades.
I was
already.
gonna say, like,
We still
I'm
gonna-
sitting
that's
here
the
looking
sad
at
part.
it like,
I'm pissed about it, but I'm still gonna
I'm
cop
not
because
pissed
I
about
love Cool Gray is one of my favorite Jordan colorways. From
Oh.
the 9s, from the 11s, you
Maybe
know
I
they
should've
look
brought
good
my
on the
pair.
3s.
I'm not mad about this pair.
I mean, it's the shade. Like, it just
The shade of gray bothers me, but not enough to not buy it.
No, that's what I was gonna say. But the problem is we've waited for so long to be able to get them back again, and it's just
Yeah,
the contrast is just a little too down. Like,
that's cool. A little tad lighter, I'd have been fine. But
These gonna look mean in the size 15.
oh boy, can't wait. No, I'm actually
the
glad.
size 15 will actually have the actual cool gray material. They use it all up to make that.
Yeah,
that
and
shoe.
it's gonna come with a thermometer, so it lets you know when it's not cool enough. So you can make sure you refrigerate it. Or you got a deep freezer, whatever. So you can put your shoes in there and keep them a certain amount of cool. And if I see somebody put a picture of these shoes in a freezer or the refrigerator, you guys can have the sneaker community.
You know somebody's gonna do
You
that.
just gave them
I know. Now that you said it, you know somebody's gonna. You know it.
Yeah.
You know it, bro. Like somebody poured milk in a shoe and ate Supreme cookies out of it. You think they're not
I
gonna do that?
understand that. Like you ruining the shoe. Like you want to wash it out and blow dry. Like
Dog,
that.
people.
And,
Well,
it come from a Chinese factory. Like you don't know what
Well,
it is. Like,
the look now, anyway, from what I'm seeing is everybody want to age their shoes. So
Which is the dumbest thing. I've
that's the
seen.
thing right now.
How
I
about we
guess.
just let it do what it do
Why don't
anyway?
you
Like,
just wear your
let it-
shits?
just wear 'em.
Wear your shits as much as you want. They'll look aged without you doing
y'all
it.
tripping because if you've been in the game long enough, you know that age is cool, but when you be pissed because it don't look like when you first bought it. And also too, like it's so many shoes I got like peeling off. Like my LeBron 7s starting to come loose at the soles. My 2K4 Hirachis did it. My Kobe 5s all blacks did it. LeBron 3s I got re-glued starting to do it. So it's just like, man, at a certain point I'm forced to buy retros because I want to keep going through that process. But
And that's my whole thing too, though. Like at least when I complain about a shoe, I don't buy it. Like these people, you got everybody and their mama going like, "Oh, this is piss me off," and then they're gonna be.
you
they
did
gonna
the ones
buy-
though, them
Which
silver,
ones?
black, and ones.
Which ones?
Them silver, black ones.
What's
You
the
complain
black one?
about dudes and buying the women's shoes.
Yeah,
Them
I
silver,
broke
black.
my own rule once.
But you
Once.
But it's acceptable. It's acceptable if you
Once.
do it one time. You know.
Once. And I even say it. And
Just
I
one
even say
time,
it- wait,
people.
wait,
Just
time out.
one time.
And
It's
I even
it's
say
okay.
it. I even say it that I waited like what 3 or 4 days after release day.
Well, how you know another female wasn't waiting 4 days? Brittany Griner could have wanted a pair.
Brittany Griner probably got a pair.
Nah, well, she probably paid StockX because you took the free Nike pair, but
Oh my god. Like I waited. I didn't go take pairs from retail from women. At that
you
point,
did.
I was
You
like,
took a
you
Kawhi
kinda
Leonard
did.
deal from him.
I was like, all right, cool. Well, you know what? They reselling now. And Jordan Brand know what they doing. That's why they went up to a 16 and a half. Ain't no women besides Brittany Griner wearing a size 15.
How you know that?
Because I actually looked up.
Cambridge, she's a nice young lady.
I actually
She's
looked up
big,
the sizes in the WNBA. Like I think
what
like the
size
average
shoe
size
does
is
she
like
wear?
She's pretty big.
like a 13 in
That's-
women.
Nah, she were bigger than 13 in women.
Yeah,
That's
maybe
11 and a half
two
my
players.
size.
That's a big girl.
Yeah, she's a big girl.
Maybe
Yeah.
two
She keep
players
herself
in the NBA.
nice though. She ain't let herself like. She keep herself. Very
She
nice.
be dominating out there too. Like,
But off the court, still look woman, like just
Right.
straight feminine. You know what I'm saying?
you know,
Ain't no
she
reason
be
to that,
she
but-
be beasting the girls out there in the paint, man.
Tell us more. Go ahead and hang yourself. Oh, this the next shoe. We got the Adidas 4D Crush. These drop early next year.
I like these. They different. They
Yeah,
remind me of
it's
the Zoom 2Ks from Nike. I like them.
I didn't
there's
like
always
those.
one shoe that's like ugly, like I want to challenge and just try it. But
These actually ain't bad. I ain't
Nah,
mad at
I
they
like
got the 4D tech in the back.
I
Nah,
like 'em.
not a fan.
I said these ain't bad. I ain't saying this is the greatest shoe ever. but
like
they
No,
ain't bad.
I don't like them.
When
at
these
all.
drop,
I don't like the colorway. Early 2020. Early
I will
2022.
give you that. I do like the colorway.
the colorway.
There's something
And
about
the color blocking because they got
Yeah.
the different contrast of gray, black, and that neon green.
Yeah,
I like
that's
that.
cool. I can get with
Shout out
that.
to
but-
Adidas. They're a nice little. They in a nice little streak right now.
I mean, they took Nike colorway and just sampled it, but
I mean,
I ain't tripping on it because Nike do
with
it.
the Air
everybody
Max
else's,
95s right here.
but I like them though.
Let's get to this last one. We got the Adidas Crazy One Sunshine.
Brady's
I wasn't a
back.
fan of them back then. I'm still not a fan of them now. I
I'm
don't care.
copying.
When did they retro these a couple years ago?
About 5-6 years
Yeah.
ago, but couldn't really
Are you
find.
talking about that Vino pack?
No,
No,
they dropped
they
this
had-
one like
this
5, 6,
colorway.
7 years, about 7
They
years.
had dropped-
'Cause they did the Adidas Crazy 2s as well. They did a couple, but
So
I
they've
want
done
this-
it before.
I don't these though.
Yeah, let's.
Cause they don't,
straight, bro.
even on eBay and everywhere else, they doing it for like
I just can't do it, bro.
seven, like
Not my cup of
$700.
tea.
I'll do it.
And hey, can we get like 10 more minutes? All right, cool. Because I really want to do this segment. That I forgot to email it to you. And that's no, it should be in the rundown. You got it in your email.
Let's see.
Should be at least. But I wanted to, because we wanted to try to do something that was for the sneaker community, and to the benefit of everybody else.
You sent it to the ACs.
Yeah.
Yeah, last one I got from you was 2019.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. Well, my bad. I should have emailed it to you. I thought I put it in what's the name? I thought it was in the email, but
Yeah, I mean, I can open
You
it
got
up
it?
on my. Yeah, I got the rundown.
is it in it?
Whoa.
The eBay segment?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Oh, here, that's just the thumbnails. There we go. Okay.
Go to the rundown. I can't remember if I sent the rundown with the eBay stuff in it or not. I don't think
you
it
did.
is.
No, I think you did. Yeah, it's in there.
But it ain't got all the information in it, though.
I mean, it has the name of the shoe, the price, and the seller.
You want to do it?
Yeah, we can do it still.
Okay.
Whoa. Didn't mean to make it.
All right, so anyway, this was a segment. We used to do something like this back in the day, where we would look up eBay steals, basically, because there's a lot, obviously there's a lot of hyped up shoes that going for like crazy amounts of money, but for true sneakerheads, there's a lot of shoes that are collectible that we wanted to kind of put a spotlight on for the true collectors, and so we're bringing back our eBay sneaker steals segment from. I think the last time we did this was like in 2017, 2016. So it's been a minute. So I don't know if you want to shout out that first shoe.
We got the Fat Tiger Workshop / Reload Adidas Superstar, size 11, $100. Seller denim _ jeans, 99.7 rating. You got a picture of the shoe?
Yeah, it should. It should be in the eBay steals folder. The shoe is actually pretty clean, and these are actual pictures of the shoes, so it ain't just some stock photo of the shoe. This is the shoes that the sellers posted on their eBay. But to Gruel's point, you said the size, right? Mm-hmm. It's free shipping. They're brand new, and the seller, because I know this matters too. He said he got a 99.7 positive feedback. No.
The Adidas Superstar size 11.
It's the
Fat Tiger.
Rello Superstar. These are actually pretty smooth. Like, I like this. This is a collaboration with Rello and Fat Tiger Workshop. But the seller has a 3,723 transactions, and he still has a 99.7 positive feedback rating. So, but he does have one negative feedback in the last 6 months, which does stem from him allegedly sending the wrong colorway of the shoe. So it wasn't a fake. It was just he said the wrong colorway. But,
So I mean, sometimes what people do, if you what I do, whatever price they look, I message them like, hey, are you taking offers on it? You know what I'm saying? Or I say, hey, I got 80 shipped or 85. You know what I'm saying? So
yep. But for those that want to know though, like they're going for like 149 on StockX, and I think they're going for just as much on GOAT. So so just to show you that like it's going for way less on eBay. What's the next one?
Oh, okay. So we got the A6 Gel Like 3. What's this? Tourmaline. Size 10.5. Going for $97.49. Brand new. Seller Soul Searcher 73. The 98.9 rating.
Soul Searcher, I might be hitting you up for them. That's
Yeah.
at 10.5, right?
10.5. Yep. Free shipping. This seller has 17,133 transactions. So to have, what was the feedback rating they had? The positive?
98.9.
Yeah, so.
And them hard.
Yeah, dog. Now, he does have 4 negative feedback strikes against him in the last 6 months. They range from a possible fake being sold to bad communication to sending the wrong items or sizes. So, but like I said, they got out of 17,133 transactions.
Yeah,
I mean,
still top 1 percentile.
yeah. What's the next two?
So we got my Advocate still need to drop again. Air Pippin 2 White Varsity Red, size 14, 220 or best offer. Use seller B Muser 808, 100% rating.
Yeah.
I seen this shoe. I was looking for it myself, but I don't wear a size 14, obviously.
Now they are worn, but they're in great condition. They are missing the box and insoles, so which is probably why they're going for less. But I mean, you see the picture right there. I mean, shit, you can't get no cleaner than that.
Yeah,
No,
so
not
that
at
shoe.
all.
That last
I
time
don't
that shoe
even
was
see a crease
06,
in that
07.
And
Last
no
time that shoe
yellowing?
dropped.
Yeah, no yellowing. And look at the outsole. If you are somebody that's interested in the shoe, go to eBay, find this shoe, find the seller, and look at the pictures. He has pictures of the outsole. I mean, you wouldn't even know they were worn. Like, honestly, it's
Also, too, what I do is when I have a question about a condition, I always say, can you message me this part of the shoe? Can I see it? You know?
yeah. Now, with that being said, I don't know if these are I'm guessing these are the ones that dropped in like the early 2000s.
Yeah, 06, 07.
Yeah, so you might want to take care as far as like getting a reglue done. But I mean, how much they going for?
They was going for, what, 90? I just had the picture up.
I think it was going for like 2.
Oh, 220. Oh,
220. But even still, I mean, at 220, that's for that condition.
For a shoe that you more than likely is with Nike's track record,
Yeah,
probably won't see that for
you're not gonna
very,
see that for
very,
a minute,
very,
so,
very,
yeah,
very
get
long
your hand on
time.
those. I mean, jump on it.
Man,
What's
I
the
don't
last
know.
one?
No, Pip doing a lot of things right now.
Man,
all right, so we got the SP Gina Air Jordan 1 Retro 1 High OG, size 10.5, 229 U's. Seller F_Galaxy, 100% rating.
now this does come with the special lunchbox.
That's not bad.
Especially
are-
for the 230, well, 229.
These are also used, but he said they're only worn once.
No, I mean, if that's actually, the
Yeah.
legit photo, I mean, they look good.
You can tell by with Jordan 1 wear, either the crease or that bottom sole, that
Yeah.
heel
Yep.
gonna go first. And like
Yeah.
you can tell by that. The bottom
But yeah,
of the
for 230 with the special box, I mean, I don't know how much are they going for on StockX.
that was going for at
For
least 350 or
I was
4.
going to say, with the
With the
special,
special
box.
box.
With the special box,
Excuse me. Yep.
yeah, we'll see. Special box, I think they're going for. I mean, a size what 10.5? They're going for $370.
Yeah.
So yeah, you save yourself $100 and something. Dang, a size 12 going for $500. Jesus.
Yeah, that's the size I wear. I want a pair,
Sheesh.
but I can't do.
Size 15 on GOAT going for 2 bands.
Bruh, yeah, size 16 going for $5 on StockX. Bruh, they dope, man. That dope. I'm paying $5,000 for that. Shout out to Gina, by the way. We love you. But yeah, no, but definitely. I mean, because I know Guru's on there more than I am, but it's good. It's good to see like some of these deals, and like especially shoes that ain't necessarily hyped up right now. That's what I love about it. It's like under the radar shoes that nobody's thinking about, that they're not going to think about now that we're talking about it. So I
paid $20 for my KD7s, the black, blue, the electric eels.
What's the cheapest you actually pay for a shoe?
Them Hyperflights, $17. I got nasty on it. I got a white and blue metallic 5 LeBrons for $50. I got them Power Couple LeBron Soldiers for $25. I didn't got busy on there.
I should say what's the best deal, because them JBC Jordan 1s I got has to be the biggest fleece of all time, bro. All time.
I got my 2K4 Hirachis for.
I got them for $300.
I got my 2K4 Hirachis, the Kobe's ones I wore that day with the shirt, $124.
I got Dinosaur Jr. SB Dunks for $100.
I wish. Oh, you know what? No, I got those 17s. Those the ones, the white with the black crocodile print. I got those for like $80 at the Nike store downtown.
But
they weren't even on the shelf. They was in the back.
What'd I tell you?
God damn, I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have said that.
That's what happens when you walk in through the back door anyway. You know.
Another eBay deal I had that was nasty. I got my Penny 2s for $45. That was.
I'm still mad about the Soul Collector Penny 3s I could have got. It was blue with the black phone.
Mm-hmm. They never released. I'm pissed they never released that pack.
I know,
because it came with the crates and like everything when they was premiering and whenever they did. Like we need those, man. We need those.
But I'll never forget Jumpman's face when he came in the studio and I had those black and gold ones.
Oh yeah.
And he was fit, and I told him how much I got them for, and their samples, like promo samples. Man, he was like, man, get the. This one no hookup.
Where's the bag? Where's the bag at?
It was obviously
because clearly the cat didn't hopped off the bag. Like.
It was obviously somebody who didn't know what they were. I'm just saying.
So you got people meeting you at the port to pick bricks up, and they dropping shoes because you just like let me buy those off your feet because you don't know what they are.
Matter of fact, Jumpman had me scared.
You trading bricks for sneakers?
Jumpman had me scared because he was like, because I told him how much I got them for, and he was like, well, how you know they're gonna ship them? And I was like, damn, you're right. And he was like, how you know they're gonna ship the shoes? They ain't gonna just fill up a box with some rocks. And I'm like, so I might even have the video still. I might post it, but I literally walked up to the post office guy with my camera on because I wanted to record the entire thing so that, because if I say, hey, you sent me some rocks, they'd be like, well, you put rocks in there and then record it. And I recorded me going to the guy, getting my box, and opening them up. And as soon as I saw the shoes, I was like, man.
That's dope.
It sounds like a dope transaction.
Yeah.
Literally.
Can I do that on camera? Like, is that?
You got me? Cool. I mean, we already know. That's probably why this joint out there like that. Probably got the bricks in the inner tube. You know what I'm saying?
If I do like that, there you go, Gino. Anyway,
that was real mean.
It was. Anyway, this is episode 302. There was some sneaker stuff. I promise. There was some sneaker stuff I want to get into. But we got to the sports stuff, which was fun. It's always a fun debate.
Maybe we'll be guests on the morning Woodward Sports Show. Yeah,
take over their show, talk about shoes.
Yeah.
Anyway, but shout out to everybody that's joined in. Shout out to our listeners and whatnot. We'll see you guys.
I wonder are we gonna get a Black Panther 2 since you kid want to make these chutneys.
Oh, shut up. We'll see y'all next week. We out.
Wow.